Someone once said that you can't go home again. But they lacked vision. And a temporal discombobulator.
Me. Me. Me.
Ours is a cycle of hatred. Alliances forged and broken. We have paid the price for sharing this world. And we have forgotten what makes us strong.
Close ranks! Advance has won! Lordaeron will be ours! My king, we have her cornered.
Me.
Firing!
made.
Stand as one for the Alliance!
For the Horde, mate!
No, mate.
For we named him Dradash! We named him Dradash!
We need to dub those trailers.
I know, we
with
do
some
need to dub. We need to
over-the-top
do
comedy.
Twitch does trailers. Rise, mountains!
No, when she screams for the hug.
Break yourself upon my body! Break yourself! Good God Almighty, we missed it. We're not talking about it, but welcome to the official Blizzcon PG stream. What up, player? You feeling good, Pledge? You all feeling good? Doesn't matter which trailer you saw, the hype was real. The hype was real. It doesn't matter what it was. The classic thing. Dude, I want to talk about ice cream. As soon as he said it, I was like, mate, you are the guy who said you don't want it. And now look at you. Huh? Now look at you, right? Now look at you. What do you think? Player.
I don't know what to think.
And then the trailer came on and they were doing it and I was like, oh my God, it's actually, they're going to do it sometime, somewhere. Sometime, somewhere. And then they dropped the old Battle for Azeroth. Bit of a chill. Don't like the name. I think it's a bit boring. But it does set the scene.
What would you like it to be?
I liked ours, which was the shadows of the darkness fall upon the edge of the mountain.
Right.
I do want an edgier title with my expansions. We had Cataclysm, The Wrath of the Lich King. The Battle for Azeroth feels like a BG. A little bit.
Kind of.
It
Yeah,
does.
I get you, I
It
get
feels
you.
like a BG a little bit. You know what I mean? We had. I mean, Mists of Pandaria was also kind of like that. You get me? You feel what I'm saying? Mists of Pandaria was also a bit like, you know what I mean? We just had the Cataclysm, for Christ's sake. Deathwing just ruined the world,
Control plus.
and now we've got a scenario, which is, you know, back to it. So then it does sound a bit like a BG. It does sound a bit like a BG. They could have just said. Do you think Mists of Pandaria was an edgy name? I'm having a beer tonight, by the way, because we're celebrating.
Well, the application of the word mists
Indicates queef.
indicates edge.
I lurk in the shadows. I drift into the mist. With a hood up. Plus hood. The title is terrible. So we're going to work through everything because this is the best way we like to do it. We like to do it with a live chat. We like to discuss it. And we like to not make it. I don't. What?
Hold it up.
It's not empty.
It's not even got beer.
There's liquid in there. You can kind of see it. We like to wrap it all up in one big segment, don't we? We'd like to do that. We do like to do that. So we're going to start from the beginning. Let's talk indefinitely about Heroes of the Storm. Moving on. Moving on. I was not surprised they left Warcraft till last.
A lot to announce.
We were talking about it because obviously we had the problems, which we won't go into. But we had the problems and we were sat by the phones trying to watch it. Sadly, Emma tweeted a picture of us in the living room like this, trying to watch BlizzCon, and we were saying like there's still time because we know Warcraft is last because it's like the number one reason most of the people are at BlizzCon. But if you've been to BlizzCon, everybody watches everything. We went to the Overwatch finals, which was really cool. We went and saw some Heroes of the Storm. We went to the Hearthstone finals. We do all that, but you're there for the WoW stuff. That's why most people are there, and certainly with the thousands of people we talked to, it was all about WoW. And we all knew the new expansion was coming, didn't we? We knew for so long it was coming. And just before we saw the name registered in Australia, we saw the name registered, and I was like, I hope that's wrong. Because we knew some stuff about it. Because Blizzard, we've been in contact with Blizzard for weeks leading up to it, even up until minutes before, because we didn't know if we could play the videos. That's our big question, wasn't it? Because you prepared a whole scene where we could have shown you guys the videos, and we were like, we don't know if we can show the videos. They're not being clear on it, because they gave us, like, time limits and stuff.
Yep.
There was, like, you can show 4 minutes of it. I'm like, okay, that's pretty cool. And then they were like, well, do you mean for streaming, though? And they weren't being clear with us at all. And we got a message just before BlizzCon started, which is like, don't play the videos. Don't do that, don't do that. We were like, okay. Even the opening thingy, the opening ceremony, they obviously wanted all the ad revenue or something like that. They did well with no leaks, honestly. And literally everybody with them leaks was wrong, which was great, actually. I don't think anybody got it right in any way, shape, or form. No. So we were on the fence about it, and we were watching it. I was like, they're definitely doing it last because everybody's there. And Brack walks out, and I thought, no Ian. That was weird in and of itself, yeah, because usually it'd be Ian leading the charge there. And he comes out, and then he goes to talk about ice cream. And what was your guys' thoughts on that when it happened? Like, did you get what he was talking about when he said ice cream? Did you know what was coming? Did you piece? Because he did it quite quickly, and I think only a few people went ice cream, vanilla. Oh no. Like that, like clicked it instantaneously.
No.
So, yeah.
I didn't. I thought it was just like a sort of... Do you know what it was? It was very smart writing, right? In terms of, he's talking about leading up to the expansion. He goes, well, I want to change the subject. I want to talk about ice cream. So I was like, fucking hell, ice cream.
You thought it was a time waster? You thought
Yes.
okay, you thought it was a time waster. Yeah, it took me a couple of seconds, but yeah, he could have come across that way, definitely. I could see how he could get there. It's like, he's just delaying it because we know the new expansion's here and what's it going to be. And then they put that trailer on, which was fantastic. That's why we wanted to replay it here today, because it was very cool.
Yeah.
It was very, very cool. Like, to watch... It was weird. I assume you guys got the same feeling as I did watching it, is we've been through a lot with WoW. Like, watching stuff like... I was saying to you, like, the water crashing over Stranglethorn into the statue for Miss of Pan... That was Miss, right? Or was it Kata? That was Kata. When the tidal wave hit and all that. And I was like, Jesus Christ. Like, you forget how much the world has changed. And because I don't even consider now the Barrens to be one zone. Like, and the Barrens was one zone. And then you think back to Thousand Needles is now flooded and there's boat shit and all that stuff there. It's like, that's really weird when you think about it. It's like, we've been through so goddamn much in like the 12 years and stuff. And seeing it all rewind, and even Illidan landing, and then seeing actually, you know what brought me back? The Draenei Paladin.
Oh, reading through the tome.
The Draenei Paladin reading through the tome, because I remember when we saw the Burning Crusade trailer, and we found out, like, and it was a very, very big deal, is that the Horde were getting Paladins and the Alliance were getting Shaman. And we saw the Draenei, and you saw that armor, I think, for the first time, because you were a Paladin in Vanilla. And you just went, dude, because he had the hammer.
He did.
The hammer of the Naru, which we turned out what it was, because it was your first epic, I think, your first ever raid epic in TBC.
From the Gruul raid.
From Gruul, yeah. I remember looting it too, because I was raid leading, and I was like, this has to go to Andy. Nobody else wanted it, in fact, because it was crap for everybody except Ret Paladins, pretty much.
No, mate, Shockadins.
For shocking it, yeah, it was pretty shit. So nobody wanted it, but Andy was like, give me that fucking hammer right now. Give me that goddamn hammer. I was so chuffed when you put it on your back and you were running around with it, because you were definitely flexing with that thing.
It's true.
Yeah, you were definitely flexing with that thing. And just seeing like the world rewind like that was very strange, especially back to the old Ironforge trailer of it starting so simply with just a dwarf and a bear walking towards Ironforge, and then being like, fucking hell, it's way different now, man. It's way, way different. Having Hyjal on the map and not being able to go there.
Yeah.
For years. I mean, that was for years and years. We had Hyjal on the map and you just couldn't go there. You just could, well, you could jump in, but there was fuck all there. But so
Artemis
weird.
from the Gruul raid were the words. Yeah.
The Gruul raid, yeah. High King
Morgor's
Mulgore.
there.
High King Mulgore dropped the hammer of the Naru. And tier 4, I'm not looking. I want to say chest. No, chest is MacDiarden. Shoulders were Gruul. Legs? No, legs were Curator. I can't remember what Mulgore dropped. He definitely dropped some tier 4. I remember that. I definitely know what I'm talking about. I've played this game. And then he came out and he went vanilla. I was like, what? Because I would have put... I have nothing against vanilla being in, but I would have put money on that not doing it. I would have put money on them not doing it.
Classic server.
Yes. I would have put money on that. I would have put money that they were going to stick to their guns and say, no, we're not doing that. Because we don't know how it's going to play out. And we don't know how it's going to play out. So, like I said, I made a video on it and I was like, good luck. Because what have we seen? We're going to talk about Classic first, then we'll move to Battle for Azeroth. Because we're going to do it in order of what happened. We've seen the backlash from the announcement. Nobody knows what they want. At least the vocal the vocal people aren't really sure what they actually want. Now it's coming. It's happening.
I don't think it's they're not sure what they want. I think it's they're not sure of what they're in for.
Oh yeah,
are we going to get this? Are we going to get this?
It's definitely a whole spectrum of people, but there are definitely people who weren't part of the fight for it, who were not part of the private servers, who know exactly what they're getting into, who were not part of that whole movement of people who were like, we want Classic back, who are now like, Classic's coming, and now getting involved and like sticking their fingers in. There's definitely a lot of those guys. And there's all, because I mean, I was reading the MMO champ thread where people seemed convinced that Bloodlust was in vanilla and it was unfair because Shaman had it and not the Paladins. And one of the more interesting things is seeing people not really remember exactly what vanilla was like. So they definitely haven't been a part of the private service, because it seemed like a big revelation to some people that Prot Paladins didn't have a taunt. They're like, what? Yeah, they did. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. And Growl worked in a very, very different way than what you remember. And it's like, it's all sort of people with bits of fragments of information, which is not uncommon because it's 12 years ago, right? Like trying to remember how it worked and how they could make it and trying to bring it back. And I think for a lot of people as well, the bad stuff has come back. Like, the bad stuff has come back. And there is some bad stuff in vanilla, but that's part of it, right? That's part of it, because a lot of people want class balance. That fucks more things than they realize than just giving you options to class balance. That fucks so many more things, because, like, if you balance the classes, the bosses just don't work anymore. Like, in any way. They don't work at all, in any way, shape, or form, if you try and balance everybody. What has been fun is the people getting in contact with me. I don't want to throw anybody under the bus, so I won't mention any names. But there's people who've been getting in contact with me who are part of the Balanced Druid vanilla community, the Feral Druid vanilla community, the Elemental Shaman vanilla community. Basically, the specs that I am on record as saying correctly were pretty shit, right? That you didn't want. And they're linking me damage meters. Now, unfortunately, I know how to read a damage meter. Unfortunate for you, I know how to read a damage meter. So, when I say damage meter, like, there's logs of vanilla. People have made sites on logs. So, one of the guys was a balanced druid. He linked me himself near the top of the damage meter. For Ragnaros. Very impressive. Or is it?
No.
No, it's not. It's not when you show me a kill of Ragnaros that is 56 seconds long. That's faster than traditional vanilla speed kills, by the way, by about 20 seconds. I think Ragnaros submerges at a minute 30, minute 45, something like that. And it was always cool to kill him before he did the first submerge, as you will know about. And we started doing that around Blackwing Lair AQ-ish. We started doing that. You could do it in Molten Core gear, but Blackwing Lair gear certainly started pushing you to kill him before submerge. And that was cool. And then we had classic videos, which I have on my PC, of things like 30-odd mages, frost mages, particularly versus Ragnaros, and killing him in about a minute 10. So when you link me a 56-second kill, and I can also see that you were hit by nothing, because you might remember Ragnaros had a particularly annoying ability, which would be a fire blast, which knocked you miles away and into lava and stuff, which meant you did no damage for like 50% of the fight because it only lasted 56 seconds and you got knocked miles away. So I was like replying to these people, I'm like, you know that is the most skewed log in history. And he's like, well, it's just how I roll. Or is it? Because the cool thing about logs is it tracks more things than what your most impressive kill is, such as a fight that lasts longer than a minute. Where you did about the damage of the tank in vanilla. And if it goes to 3 minutes... Ooh, dearie me. Very bad. Very sad. Very sad. But I'm not mocking, actually. I know people want this to work, but the reality is no. Because mana's not being talked about, Andy, and I find that really interesting.
Wow.
Mana on DPS classes is a big fucking deal in vanilla, and no one's really talking about that. They all want balance. They're just throwing the word balance out there like it's some sort of splurgy sperm.
It's some sort of miracle
Yeah,
fix.
suddenly I am balanced. And what does that mean? Well, you'd have to eliminate all the mana problems that these classes had. And they had, because the Moon King will go ham. And this occurred even in TBC, by the way, because the same thing that this guy did to me and these other guys used to happen in the Burning Crusade, because we weren't using Moon Kids in the Burning Crusade either. And people would link screenshots of like, look, I rocked on Allah, but Allah was still at 90% health and still in the air. So the only people who would fall for that are people who don't know how Allah works, right? Because that's phase 1, 10 seconds into the fight, when the melee are running side to side and not doing anywhere near enough damage. We know how that works, right? And so it doesn't work on us. Mana's a big fucking deal. Mages run out of mana, which a bad mage would run out of mana well before the end of the fight if he was doing too much damage, right? It just wouldn't. You could do a load of damage, but you'd run out of mana. And then you were fucked. You had to manage your mana with mana crystals and stuff. Warlocks were great on longer fights because they never ran out of mana. As long as the healers had mana, the Warlocks were good. They could just get their mana back. Hunters could drink in combat. That's why those classes edged forward on progress. That's why they broke away from the line of caster DPS and moved forward. It's because they could control their mana. And you ran out of mana in vanilla. No one's talking about that. And I think that'll be one of the biggest shocks for most people.
There's a lot of things that people aren't talking about that they think that... Well, you've come to expect it from being, I want to say, spoiled by modern day WoW, and it kind of is.
It's almost spoiled, but it's almost like you've never known anything different.
Yeah.
And the last thing you would expect to say now is that you would run out of mana while DPSing. Like, that makes no sense to anybody who's played since Wrath. I think it's still a thing in TBC, maybe?
It was in TBC.
Well, right, Wrath, I mean, that's 7 years ago or something crazy now, right? You're talking like... It would never... If you started playing then, you would never consider a world where you would run out of mana. Right? So no one's really talking about that, and it's like... you're gonna encounter things that you really, really don't like. And that's going to be a problem. I predict this for Classic, though. I think on the first day, it's going to be the biggest thing in possibly forever. Like, the whole game is going to rush to whatever they do. 1 server, 2 servers, whatever it is. They're going to crash it. And then probably a week later, it'll be the hardcore guys who wanted it. And those guys will be fine. If they give us just Classic, the guys who know what they're getting into and fought for this, and I hope this is how it goes, they'll be happy for years. They will just be happy to do whatever they want to do on that server.
Are you hoping before, like, pre-TBC patch vanilla?
This has been another point of controversy, as with everything to do with Classic, is which patch they're going to get. So some people want progression style. So will that start without Diamol, without Onyxia?
Does that also mean, though, that if they're going to do progression, it's just going to stop and then stop for good? They just need to just give it them. Boom.
Well, the choice is on one of the two. You're either going to have progression servers where gradually they'll bring in Diamol. They'll bring in, they'll bring in Arcarage. They'll have the opening event. They'll bring in Nax Ramus.
Yeah.
They'll do that over a course of time. Or they're going to release the patch just before the Burning Crusade talents hit, because that was a real fuck-up when that happened. You probably remember when the TBC stuff came in. It was mental. They gave everybody high Warlord gear. Do you remember that? And it was lunacy. You had to do like 5 BGs to get the high Warlord axes for the Fury Warriors.
Yeah, I remember Warrior.
Yeah, all the Fury Warriors suddenly had high Warlord axes and were just crushing everybody in the ground. It was a total cock-up. So before then, but with Nax Ramus out. But if that happens, and people are correct, that content is going to be stomped through so fast. Mm-hmm. So fucking fast, it's not even going to be funny. It's not going to be funny. They're just going to fucking crush it to pieces, because the people are going to go in with different mindsets. Like, for now, we've never really had a prot warrior in vanilla. That's not the mindset these days. I think people who want to tank in vanilla will be protection. Like, full protection. Right? Because that's a normal thing these days. Is if you're a tank, you're going full protection. So, it's going to be a very interesting time. I don't know what they can do, and I think ultimately they're definitely going to hit the point where people want more content for it. What are they going to do then? It's a risky game. It's a risky game, man. It's real risky. They could stagger it so they get vanilla TBC and stuff, and then they start another vanilla server. So they could do it like seasons. They could do that. They could do that. That might work. So they keep resetting it backwards. So the first one starts, that goes then TBC, Wrath, and so on. And then another vanilla one, fresh one starts, and you go that way. That might work.
Oh, how would you manage that, though?
Well, it'd probably... Yeah, it'd take years, but I think that's what they want. They want it to keep rolling. If it's successful, it'll keep rolling. Either that, or it's going to be a really hardcore bunch of people who are there forever. And those guys will never leave.
Yeah.
They'll never leave. It'll be interesting where they get to, because the problem is, a lot of people, you got to bear in mind, by the time Nax gear came out, people were crazy overpowered. Like, a paladin would never run out of mana. Trying to a Nax geared paladin is a joke, because they crit so much, and you get 100% of your mana back if you crit your heal, that they will just spam and spam and spam and spam, and they will just, their mana bar just doesn't move. And Nax paladins were a nightmare for it, because they just never, ever ran out of mana, which was just lunacy. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, what do you think they're going to give? Because they're saying they're taking community feedback. I personally think that's bullshit. I think that is total bollocks. Bullshit. I think it's bullshit. I think they're just trying to entertain the idea that it's community feedback. But I kind of think Brack wants it to fail. Because he was the guy who said, you think you want it, but you don't. And I think he'd be quite happy if they did it. Because there was definitely people who didn't want to do it internally, right? There's no questions inside. Because there's obvious problems that might occur that we've just mentioned, like, few of them, of the hundreds that could happen. There was definitely people who were like, this is a waste of time and resources, right? But the people asked for it. I think some people are for it, and I think people like him are going to watch it and go, this is what you asked for. This is what you're going to get.
I don't want to sound like the cynic or the bad guy, because I'm for Classic. If people want it,
yeah, exactly.
They've given it, I'm for it. But I personally believe that he's right in what he said.
I think there
is a group of people, don't get me wrong, there is a group of people who will play that to the fucking end of the earth, Classic. But there is a very large, and probably bigger than the core people who would play it, very large majority of people who are just loud because they want it.
And I don't think they know what they want.
And they don't know what they want.
They don't know what they want.
They'll get there, and they'll be like, what the fuck have I done?
Well, not that. I think they'll think, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Is what they're going to say. They're going to go, what the fuck is this? This is bobbins, is what they'll say. This is garbage. And that will be interesting, because those guys, as you said, are going to be really loud. Yeah. Really loud. And they are going to be demanding changes. And they're already doing it. I mean, the MMO Champ forum is fucking hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. Like, reading
it's a fucking joke if we don't get dual spec, mate.
Oh, my God. A compromise on specs. Oh, God. Only warriors can tank. And this is bothering me as well, because there's a lot of people saying, well, ferals can tank. Look, you can drive a car with your feet if you want to. It doesn't mean it's a good fucking idea.
Boom.
Yeah, right? Yeah, we had a feral druid who tanked occasionally for us. As a healer, what a twat. What a twat. Fuck off. Just because he could have a good night, and we all had to fucking spooge into that fucker. Because they're just mana sponges. We need new high-end content after Nax. With today's players and knowledge, raids will have to be revamped. Dual spec is a must. Oh my God. Decursive, we want vanilla. No, we want fixed vanilla. Can we have the option of vanilla plus servers? Vanilla plus. Interesting. Oh my God. And the war is out. It's pages and pages of this stuff, which is... I think these are the guys who didn't fight for vanilla. I get the feeling these are the guys who didn't fight for it, who haven't been playing on Classic. Also, will be interesting is how many people were actually, and we have to say there's definitely some of them, were playing private servers because they were free. And now there's going to be a subscription cost involved.
Nope.
Aren't going to go to it. Because those people are out there, man. They couldn't afford WoW, and I'm not mocking them or anything, but... there will definitely be people who are like, I definitely play vanilla if Blizzard did it. And then a subscription cost is going to come, and they go, well, I'm not doing that because I wanted a free server. I want a free server. What if quality of life? Quality of life is being thrown around a hell of a lot as some sort of catch-all for whatever you personally think is quality of life.
That doesn't mean what you think it means.
Yeah, that means what you think is quality of life, but other people don't. And this is actually, it's very cool in a way for me to see this. As a content creator who has to bear in mind as many different styles of people who play WoW, it's cool to see so many completely differing, yet 100% entrenched, convinced their right opinions. We need this. And you're because it's standard. We need this, or you're a moron. Right? That's the classic one. And the other guys are going, we don't need this. Well, then you're a moron. No, we just have a totally different opinion on things.
Do you know what it is, though? You've got to consider the fact that over the last decade plus, people have just got used to the anonymity of the internet and just overload their right to be an arsehole for the sake of being
also
an
being a lot of rebound out. A lot of, what do we call it? Bubbles, essentially.
Yeah.
Where, you're just all bouncing around. You're only circling to like-minded individuals to reinforce your own ideas. An echo chamber. You're only in an echo chamber.
Ooh.
But now what we're seeing is a huge amount of people saying, actually, my opinion is this, my opinion is that. And it's turned out, oh, that's not the shared opinion. My comment on this is, I hope it's classic as they want it at some point. If they do progression or not, I don't mind. I think that's fine. I want to play it. I'm fine with it. There's some things I want to do in Vanilla WoW that I never got a chance to do, mainly not play a priest. I'll be fine with not playing a priest. Do I think I'm going to play exclusively? Fuck no. Fuck no. Not a chance in hell.
What?
Play exclusively. But I'll definitely have a bish bosh around. I fancy being a little gnome warrior. A little gnome warrior. I'd like to revisit certain things. And have some fun with it. I want to tank Stratholme on my warrior. Some stupid things like that. I want to tank Stratholme on my warrior.
Looking forward to getting tier 0 again.
I think we'll skip that.
I loved it.
I think certainly with today's player base, right? I could easily there'll easily be 40 people amongst the crowd here tonight who will play vanilla and have some sort of raid experience. Otherwise, we wouldn't be pugging Heroic Kill Jaden, right? There are some really great players in our audience. I can't see us needing anywhere near that stuff.
I'd still like it.
I'd still have fun. Like, if I go into Molten Core with 40 of these gangsters right here, do you think we can't clear that in one evening? Probably in like an hour or two.
Yes.
Bullshit, dude.
Challenge accepted.
Bullshit.
These jabronis haven't got a fucking Scooby, mate.
Bullshit.
You'd be
Easy
lucky to get
game,
through
easy
Gar.
fuck. Yeah, let's organise the tactics for. I'm gonna get the names wrong. Golemag. You tank it. You tank that dog. You tank that dog. Kill the boss.
Dogs on Golemar.
Yeah, Golemag had the 2 core hounds that you had to pull away from him. There was a very tricky mechanic there. If the core hounds were close to Golemag, I'm sure he's Golemag, then they buffed. So you had to. It's very coordinated, actually. You had to pull him away, tank him off to the side.
But what you're doing there, mate, is you're forgetting about threat. Do you know what? I think threat's going to be one of the biggest eye openers. Apart from the grinds of.
I'm looking forward to that, though.
When I say grind, I don't just mean the leveling grind. I mean leveling weapons, leveling your professions, lock picking. But I mean
Weapon skill?
Yeah, weapon skill. Yeah.
Weapon skill, y'all! Weapon skill! Get yourself in the blasted lands and AFK! Gotta get that dagger skill up, son! I did that for hours.
I did that.
I did it. In fact, I did my dagger in about. This is during TBC. I did my dagger in about 2 hours because I had to get it ready for Kael'thas because I had to get the legendary dagger to break people out of MC because I did the least damage. And I just stuck my warrior out there. Just stabbing away.
Do you know what I look
stabbing
forward
away.
to? Check this. Reckoning Bomb.
They definitely won't include that.
They fucking better I'd do.
They're definitely got to
That's
include
vanilla,
the Reckoning
mate.
Bomb. Yeah, well, they'll do the fixed version where you couldn't one-shot raid bosses.
Bollocks.
Yeah, they'll definitely do the fixed
If they
version.
can't do Reckoning Bomb, I'm not playing vanilla. Fuck them.
Oh, well, we can play together. I want to be an alliance. I want to be a gnome.
I'll roll on with you.
You can't be a gnome paladin, though.
Well, if they don't have Reckoning Bomb, I'm not going to be a paladin, mate.
What are you going to be?
Good question, that.
What would you... There's certain specs you wouldn't touch with a fucking barge pole. There are certain classes you wouldn't go near with a fucking barge pole. I am not going near that piece of shit, I tell you now. I would not play a fucking vanilla druid. Fuck that. Fuck that. No way. I'm not being a
I'd
vanilla
probably
druid.
go back to Rogue, Combat Rogue.
Combat rogue's good. Rogues. I mean, you can't go wrong. Warrior, rogues, hunters, trank shot. Whoa! I genuinely thought we had the best hunter in the world because Magmadar used to enrage and instantly lose the frenzy buff. I was like, Jesus, that guy's good. Wow. I'm serious because there'd be people you would be screaming at for like 15 seconds, like, fucking trank him. What are you doing?
Do you know what I always remember about vanilla?
Oh my God.
When we was finishing up, Blackrock Depths. Not Blackrock Depths, what's it called now? Blackwing Lair, right? We had the priest class leader, who was like, he was a really nice guy, he was a gay guy, but he was like, you know, like he likes to be fabulous.
He's a campy.
Yeah. And I was healing on my paladin, and there'd be times like, it's like, fuck, I forgot my mind. I'm like, come here, you silly sausage, I'll give you some. But he was a dead nice guy, and it was just like, he was like, oh.
That is, yeah, like I said, because I've done the videos of like I think it was like top 5 reasons I want 40-man raiding back and top 5 reasons I don't want 40-man raiding. It was something like that.
I remember that.
We did 2 videos back to back. I was intending to do one because I was like so adamant I wanted 40-man until I started researching that video, and then I was like, fuck, man, it's got loads of problems. Shit. Okay, I'm going to have to revise this into 2 videos. And one of them was you could take shithouses. Let's pick some names. We could take Crack Carl, Captain Dafty, who are terrible at the game, and we can bring them in on the raid, and it's all right. Because, to be fair,
you can put a load of wheat in the chaff.
You could carry a lot of fucking slack in vanilla. You could carry a fucking lot of slack. A lot. Take me, you're in, you're all in. I suck, pick me. Yeah, you could take a lot of losers into 40-man raiding and do just fine.
Yeah.
Regularly, bosses were killed with like 10 people left alive. And those 10 people were always the same ones that were alive. Every fucking time. It was just like, I don't know what to do with the fight. I don't know what to do with the fight. It's fucking hard. We need a crafter for Onyxia scale cloaks.
Yep. If you've not got an XC scale,
so we could crack on with leather working for us. That'd be really nice. You crack on with that. I really am shit. Take me. I really am shit. I don't know what's going on. But it's going to be a fun time whenever it comes. It's going to be a fun time. It really is going to be interesting. And this war that's going on right now, this is going to die down soon. Once the hype leaves. Because it's hard not to be captured by the hype. Because it's coming. It's been nothing for me but just
void,
memories.
Though. It's a void of what... I mean, like, yeah, memories for the people who played it.
Yeah, absolutely.
But for the people that didn't play it, it's a void of what am I going to get? I want this. I need this. It's like, that's not the case. It shouldn't be the case.
It's weird. It's very weird. One thing I did want to bring up with you, because I don't think they're going to do this, but they might do this, is transmog stuff that you collect in vanilla might apply to your whole account.
No.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to do that either. I don't think they're not going to have transmog at all in vanilla, which is going to be cool. I like that.
That's not going to be cool. That's the only thing genuinely that I'm going to miss if I went back to classic.
Now, one thing I can point out is you were a ret paladin in vanilla.
I was a ret paladin.
What did you do in raids?
Healed.
Yeah, that's what people don't get. You can play, because I remember one of your most epic moments that you told me about. I think you called me like on the phone back in the day. You like called me on the phone and you went, dude, we were just killing Ragnaros, and near the end, like 10%, I thought, fuck this, put my 2-hander on and went, smack the boss.
I remember that.
I know you did. You were so happy. You said I charged the fucking boss with my 2H and went ham.
That was my first raid, because in no shit, right, and I'll tell you what, let me just take you down fucking memory lane. Before like any of this, like I started out as a rogue, I wanted to be a rogue, and then it was your nephew I saw playing a paladin.
Yeah, he's PvP
and
videos.
he was fucking mincing fucks. So I thought, right, I'm going to try a paladin. And I leveled it and I capped it. And then I spoke to one guy. I couldn't get into a raid. I couldn't get into a raiding guild. Like guilds that fuck up on like Zul'Gurub and something. Because I was Alliance and you went Horde as well. Was it Berserkers they were called? Yeah,
yes,
anyway.
That's what they were called.
But anyway, I spoke to this GM who was a paladin as well. And he's like, I was just generally chit-chatting, saying like, how's the raid and stuff like that. He goes, you're not in a guild? I said, no. I said, well, do you want to come with us?
What was the name of your guild?
The House of the Searing Blades. But listen though, so he said, do you want to come with us? I was like, do you know what? Yeah. So I came with him, got onto their Ventrilo or whatever it was at the time, told me how to heal, told me what I should be doing, what I shouldn't be doing. And then that's how I started raiding. But then like, he was the GM and he was a paladin, but he wasn't the class leader. The class leader was called Snake Eyes.
Of course he was.
Yeah, he was mint.
Snake Eyes,
right?
the paladin.
And he says to me, do you like playing Ret? I said, yeah. He goes, don't bother respecking.
Nobody respects. I mean,
I
started to spec holy.
I don't know what's going on at the minute. I was like, well, all right.
Look.
So we got to Ragnaros. We're doing Ragnaros, and there was people dying. It was it was the guild's first Ragnaros kill. So I thought, fuck it. So that's when I put on my big axe and just fucking waded in, and I put it down on me, and that's what I got called the DPS'd in me.
DPS'd in.
I waded in like 5 left.
Come on, Seal of Command. Come on, Seal of Command. Do something. And what was the swing time? Like 3.4 seconds?
Something like that. Seal,
Did it
judge,
proc?
seal, judge,
Seal, judge, seal, judge. Out of mana.
That's it.
Fuck's sake.
It was well good.
Judge wisdom. Get it back.
Get it back.
Judge
Come on,
wisdom.
son.
Judge
Come on.
wisdom.
Healer's dead. Judge light.
Judge light. Judge light. Judge wisdom. Oh man, the classic times.
It was well good though.
I still never forget the time I was promoted in my eventually end guild because I used the cursive on Chromagus.
Yeah.
Like, they were like, dude, you are the best dispeller. I was like, you guys are fucking nuts. I swear to God, man. I've just pressed M the whole fight. Mana pot M. And they were like, you did more dispels than anybody else. I'm like, that's right. I'm the fucking daddy. I'm the fucking daddy. Oh my God. I was like, do you guys... I honestly felt like asking at the time, do you guys not know what decursive is? Or what the fuck is going on here? Like, this is mental that you don't know what's going on.
They need to make sure that's not there. It wasn't in at the end,
No,
was
no,
it?
they got rid of decursive, and it was really fucking annoying. It was really annoying, so...
Do you know what I always remember about decursive?
What's that, dude?
Going back into Ragnaros, and it was like the 3 people putting onto decursive. No, 4 people. And it was like, such money, right? You take whoever's the top of the list, you take whoever's second on the list, you have to take third on the list. So, like, we'd have, like, someone obviously clicking and decursing the top, I'd be the middle, they'd be the bottom, it was like,
Such skill, such wow. And I was always the top, and you know what, it was, it still plays me today. It's because I was doing it, no one else would do it. It was like, Mike's got it. Mike's got it. Mike's got it. Pally power add-on, 5-minute blessings, boy.
Oh, God.
Oh,
I remember that.
rebuff in combat.
Yeah,
oh,
but
this is fun.
You just press the same button. Here comes your buff, boys. Pally power.
Oh God, there is. I mean, these are all memories that you can only make with people, and that's what it will come down to: is who do you play with? Who do you play with?
Do you want
It's
a
all
warlock
memories.
pet? Better go do that fucking quest for it then, mate.
I can't fucking believe you don't get Warlock pets to quest anymore. That pisses me off. That is bullshit. I mean, I said it because I had to level a Warlock for the Legacy of the Warlock, and I crossed a road, leveled, and instantly had a Voidwalker. I was like, why? Why would you take that out? That's really fun. Going and getting your pet, because there used to be a Voidwalker summoning ritual you had to do, and because you had to pull it out of the Nether and bind it to you. It's
like,
awesome.
Stuff like the Warrior quest where it puts you in that mini arena for your Whirlwind Axe, whatever it was called.
The Whirlwind Axe you did in Arathi, not Arathi, the other
Fury
place.
Stance. You had to do a quest for Fury Stance, didn't you, for that?
You had to do a quest for... Oh, Fury! The Fury Stance quest is awesome. You had to go to your Jamber Isle, mate.
That's what I meant.
Which is the warrior home. And you had to pass the test of Fury, mate. You had to stand in the arena with all the badasses, mate. You had to crush dick. Now, what was cool about it, though, is it was off the coast near Ratchet.
Right.
And it was the same for Alliance and Horde.
Ratchet.
So Alliance warriors had to go over to there and go through the Badlands of the red equals dead area in order to get to it. It was well good, mate. And you had to do a quest for defensive stance as well. Yeah, Frey Island.
Do you know what else I look forward to? In fact, I don't look forward to it because we're not going to have it if we go Alliance, which I'm fine with. I want to do Alliance because, let's not forget, in Vanilla, there are no good-looking Horde races. Yeah?
I do like the Tauren Warrior.
Stop. I'm going to stop you there.
I always did.
Yeah?
Always did.
But, Wind Fury Totem. I remember that with a big 200 mace. Do you know what I remember? PvP outside of Zul'Farrak waiting to go in for your group as a big cow shaman with a Wind Fury Totem, that big 200 mace from the Scarlet Monastery, from the end boss from Scarlet Monastery.
Ravager.
Not Ravager. That was an axe.
Ravager was an axe that caused you to go into Bladestorm.
Yes.
Which is, well, it could proc Bladestorm.
Yeah.
Well good.
And just waiting for people to fight, and if I got that sweet proc where I had Wind Fury in the weapon with the Wind Fury Totem, and you hit him 4 times, it's like, boom, boom, and they're dead. It's like...
Mixed with shock.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, the Hunter quest was good, as was the Benediction quest line. Like, there's stuff like that. Mulgrain's
Might, correct.
There you go. And also, I only wanted the Scarlet Shield. The Scarlet Shield was fucking biss.
I remember everyone as well
Biss!
fighting for the mail set in the 3 Scarlet Monastery areas. Because
mail, that was when you started getting
Yeah.
mail. Yeah, that was because you ticked into Cathedral, I think, at 40.
You do?
Yeah, and that's when you could start wearing mail, which was a very big deal at the time.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to start wearing mail. Like, getting shoulders. Getting shoulders, you didn't get to, like, level 30, I think. Like that. Yeah, you got Herod's Shoulder. You got Scarlet Shield. Yeah, and then you could get Ravager Axe. Fuck you. It was well good, the Ravager Axe. It was awesome. But, yeah.
40 was plate for everything, dude. 40 was plate for everything.
Yeah, 40 was plate.
Well, 40 was your increased armor proficiency for everything.
Mate, you could go into Cathedral at 38, yeah? If you was good, mate.
Arise, my champion.
If you was good, mate. If you was good, you could do that. It was heavy shit getting your first plate set, because you would, like, be so salty walking around with mail on after a bit. You'd be salty as a motherfucker going around with... If you had some male shit left over.
If I remember
like
rightly
pleb,
as well...
Like a pleb.
Things like agility was being used on Fury plate.
A lot of warriors wore leather.
For the agility.
Yeah. Well, just for the DPS in general. Attack power, mate. All about that sweet attack power, yeah? All about that. Because all the tanking play mainly was for tanks. Because it had plus defense on it. Because you had to get defense campmates, so you were uncrushable, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Oh, that impression was 10 out of 10, but I kind of went from Mulgrain to Douglas Renham. Your side, my lady.
Unhand me, priest. Fucking warriors clicking off my bubble. I hated that so much. Assholes.
I'd like you to meet my wife.
So there's memories there that I definitely want to go through again. I think it'll be crazy different. Crazy different.
We need to get that hard drive hooked up.
Yeah, my brother's
Do you know
gonna
why?
do it.
Do you know why?
What's
Because
that?
I want to recreate my at least 100 videos of when I should be doing something on my road.
And you were dancing.
And I was in stealth dancing to Justin Timberlake, Spice Girls, 90s dance music. It was well good. We was in Arathi Basin losing the flag, and they're in stealth popping a move on my night elf road.
The best one I ever saw you do was being in a UBRS run, and I think you were doing it 10-man as well. You were doing it proper. And the beast is killing everybody in the background, and you're doing...
Dancing in stealth.
You're dancing in stealth.
And it was
it triggered me
Justin
so
Timberlake,
hard.
Like I Love You, I think it was.
It was something like that. You were just dancing in fucking stealth while your whole party is in the background getting torn to shreds by the beast because the warrior didn't know how to break fear. And you're just dancing.
Busting him in.
And you're like, look at this, it's well good. And I'm like, your whole team is dying. He's like, yeah, but look at what I'm doing. Look at what I'm doing. Aren't I the fucking the business? It's going to be exciting.
It is.
For a short period of time, it's going to be very, very exciting. But what percentage of people are going to get past level 20? Warriors, I think a lot of people are going to hear that warriors are pretty hardcore, and they are one of the, if not, I would say, yeah, I'm going to say it. Warriors are the best overall class in vanilla. All 3 specs worked.
Well up there.
Yeah, Warrior, Prot is great. Fury became fantastic. Arms is awesome.
Yeah.
And that's going to be something to go through. But Warrior is also easily one of the most difficult to level. By miles. Warriors just get punished.
Don't forget that everything is hunter loot. You've got to have your 2 melee weapons or your 1 2-handed weapon and a bow, and you've got to buy ammunition. Everything. Hunters, warriors, rogues. You'll all have a ranged weapon, boys, and you're all going to need ammo. Well,
I can't wait till they find out that Nefarian breaks your bow. There's something so good about Nefarian breaking your bow.
Yeah, food for your pets, which you don't get until level 10.
And if I'm tanking Nefarian, I just want to say something. I am not moving the boss when the rogues get the class call. Y'all better use Cloak of Shadows or some shit.
Cloak of Shadows in vanilla.
Oh, bummer. What a bummer for you guys. You're all going to die. Oh, look. There we go. Yeah.
Gnome Priest.
No.
That's what I meant. Sorry. Troll
Yeah,
Priest.
boy. There he is. And his first Ragnaros kill. My boy. There he is. Oh, look at him. Look at him.
Ugly, mate.
Ugly as fuck. That is an unhappy player. This is a very unhappy player who thought this screenshot looked cool. But, oh my god. Oh my god. That is an unhappy
Whoa. Super duper storms. Let me stop you right there. Rogues do not have to buy poisons. They have to buy materials.
They craft them.
They have to buy materials to make the poisons.
Or you can go and farm it in lockboxes.
Which you will have
I think
to level
you
up.
can buy the lower ones, I'm sure. I think you can buy the ones that are lower, but if you wanted the full rank, you had to farm them.
Was it blinding powder as well that you need to go and farm yourself?
Yes, blinding powder you found from lockboxes. I think you got them around Menethil Harbour was the best place to get them, somewhere like that. Oh, I forgot about the world bosses. Forgot about the world bosses. You know what's going to be the biggest deal, though, dude?
What?
Grid. If grid works,
Quality of life changed. Let me stop you right there.
it will ruin raiding, because a big part of it is not knowing, because this is what your raid frames look like. You don't know if anybody's in rage or not. And
Doesn't matter.
that's
It's your
a
own fault.
very big deal.
Quality of life changed, mate. I'm going to stop you there. Yeah? Why don't you go make a post on MMO Champion?
Do you like my key bindings? AKA none.
AKA...
AKA none. I had 2 different types of flash heal for some reason. Oh, one of them was...
Ranks.
Oh, yeah.
Ranks.
What? Yeah, one was the highest rank. You can see I'm clicking, though. Greater heal rank 5. I'm moused over it because I'm clicking it.
Yep.
In a focus for a free and guaranteed crit. So good. And always the wand. Oh, my God. But these were pretty much the add-ons. That's what your raid frames, well, mine looked like, because there was no grid. And at some point, I preferred to use these. but you didn't know who was there.
How was Chamois in vanilla?
Chamois are really good, actually. You're going to be healing in raids, and by Nax, you could get away with being Enhancement. Enhancement was pretty good in Nax.
Am I right in thinking that Bloodlust was only group-wide?
Bloodlust
I
is
think
in
it
vanilla.
was. Is it not?
No, there's no Bloodlust in vanilla.
Holy shit, I thought it was.
No, TBC was Bloodlust.
Then why was Chamois? Oh, Totems were group-wide.
Totems were group-wide. But what you could do, what was really cool, if you like hybrid play, because a lot of people do like hybrid play, and it's something I think WoW was missing. Shamans were really good at it, because you could go, like, I was mostly Dis on my Priest, especially as I got more gear. So I had Power Infusion. I don't know if I've got it in that screenshot, actually. Or was I full holy there? I haven't got Power Infusion there. So I switched between, like, full holy and Power Infusion and Dis. But Shamans could spec, like, halfway down the enhancement tree and get enhanced totems, which meant, like, Wind Fury was miles better. Grace of Air was better, and Mana Spring was better, and you would be like the melee shaman. So you had shamans that did different things. You'd have like the shaman for the healer group. I mean, overall, your job was to be swapped into the group because you could do that in combat in vanilla. You could move people around in the raid groups and drop Mana Tide for the priests and fuck off, right? But you also had the hybrid style shamans who were buffing the melee. So you would sacrifice like Mana Spring or something else because they all fell under like air and water totems and stuff like that. So you would, I think you could have. Oh, someone's going to have to remind me here. Your air totem would have been Wind Fury. Your water totem would have been Mana Spring. And I think those were the two you kept down. And then in the caster groups, you would have Mana Spring and Tranquil Air. So Tranquil Air dropped your threat. But you didn't want to give that to the melee. They just wanted better Wind Fury and therefore better tanks. The better you tank, the better. Strength of the Earth. There you go. Strength of Earth, which gave Strength and Agi, I think. Something like that. I haven't got the screenshot on hand of me capping my warrior in vanilla. That's kind of sad. That's the one I was actually looking for, was me capping my warrior in vanilla. But I haven't got it, which is a real shame. I've got it somewhere, but I don't know where it is. Oh well. No big deal.
No big deal.
Agi was another tome. Well, Grace of Air didn't exist in vanilla, I don't think. I'm trying to remember back. Yeah, but Grace of Air wasn't in vanilla, was it? It might have been. I can't remember if Grace of Air was there. And Grace of Air was an air tone, right? Strength and Agi was Wrath. It does. Okay. Yeah, I mean...
And you have to target the totems to get rid of them.
Did you? Yeah, well, you didn't have totemic recall or anything like that.
No, I mean, like, if I was fighting a Chamois, I'd have to target his totems to get rid of them.
Oh, yeah, in PvP.
Yeah,
that lasted for ages. Yeah, they don't take anything. They still don't. Well, totems don't mean shit anymore, do they, really? Totems are kind of a dog shit thing. But there you go. So that's going to be cool. But I would definitely... Shamans are solid. Hunters, I wouldn't roll a hunter. They were brought for trank shot, pretty much. But they could be really good if you could get your swing timer for your bow perfect. Because you could go swing... Because if you were casting something like aim shot, it would delay your auto attack. So you could time it. It was a big thing in TBC.
Swing time was a big thing for a lot of classes.
Totem Twisting was Wrath. I don't know if you could do it in vanilla. You might have been able to. Hunter's Mark. Ooh! Hunter's Mark. Yeah, auto shot weaving. Pretty good. But Wind Fury will be awesome. It's so good. There are definitely dungeons I want to do again. AQ20 was always a lot of fun because it had so many Octron bosses. And doing things like Moam. No, Buru. Do you remember Buru?
The big, like...
The big bug that used to just chase you around. It just used to fixate people. Buru. And Moam was the Mana Burn. Mana Burn's coming back. What? Mana Burn, boys. Gotta get the Mana Worm going, dude. And open your coffers. Yeah, dude. I don't think they will tinker with class balance. It fucks everything up. Because if you tinker with class balance, it really screws the entire game up. Big time. Big time. We've already talked about that. Viper Sting. Well, they're good cast DPS. Mages, Warlocks. Yeah. Mages and Warlocks. Other casters tended just to run out of mana way too quickly. They were good on farm. Like, if you were raping bosses down, you could bring whatever you wanted without issue. But when it got better, I mean, certain fights just played into the hands of mages. Look at Lower Theb, especially, in Nax. Like, if I could think Lower Theb 40. Will we get something? 5 years ago. Seems legit. I don't know what's on this, by the way, so I'm going to mute it. Will we even have a damage meter? Yeah, you can see here. But this is because of... Now, you might think, wow, them mages are miles better than them other mages. This is what your DPS meter kind of looks like in vanilla. It's got 4 colours on it. I mean, that kind of says a lot. It's got 4 colours on it. This was BIS at the time. People loved this shit. This circular crap around your character.
I had that.
Yeah, I had this UI for a while. Like, I thought this looks awesome. Well, this is kind of what your vanilla damage meter looks like later on. It's just 4 colors on it. And now I have done the Legacy of the Mage, so you should know why these mages are so much higher than these mages. Come on. Someone say it. But there's this is a broken mechanic of vanilla. This is a broken mechanic of vanilla that did this. Close. It is something to do with Ignite. It wasn't called Ignite stacking though. Close. Rolling Ignite. Alan Thor's got it. Rolling Ignite. Rolling Ignite. So if
What's that?
What's Rolling Ignite? Okay, so every mage who fires a fire spell causes Ignite, right? But because of the way the debuff slots on bosses works in vanilla, you had a limit of 40 debuffs you could apply to the boss. So what Blizzard did was make one Ignite. Now, that Ignite and all the damage associated with that Ignite would only ever belong to one player, despite the fact all the other mages were contributing to it. So the one player would get everybody's Ignite, because they just put it all into one Ignite. And just so, I would start an Ignite, and then you would be a fire mage. You wouldn't get any Ignite damage, but I would. I'd get yours, and I'd get everybody else's as well. 16, yeah, 16. And there was a very big deal at Nax time, and Nups will back me up on this, because Nups was a mage back then, I was still a priest, that if somebody stole the Ignite off, certainly the mage class officer...
How would you steal it?
If it dropped or something like that, there was ways of stealing it.
If your Ignite dropped and I cast mine onto it...
Yeah, but it should never drop. Right? I'm not sure how it worked. I'm not going to lie. I'm not sure how he could steal it, because I know Nups could steal it. And he knew how to steal it. Nups could steal the Ignite. And the mage class officer would be pissed. Really pissed. So it could be done. It could be done. It could be done. And you could manipulate it so it went to you instead. So you were on top of the damage meter. There was definitely ways of playing around with that mechanic if you were good enough. So yeah, it was very cool. So there's our thoughts on Classic. I think anything else you want to bring up there? Memory Lane. Excited for it. Hope people get what they want.
Do you know what I'm excited for? The nostalgia of it.
Yeah, just checking it out. Like, it's going to be tough.
It's going to be very tough.
It's going to be very tough.
This isn't a quick grind by any means.
No, not in the least.
This is a core RPG before all these shortcuts and quality of life things.
I mean, are they going to include things like there just weren't enough quests in the game to? You had to grind.
You had to grind your levels. It was between the space of 30 and 40 in Arathi and Stranglethorn Vale, if I'm not mistaken. There was, and late 50s as well. Akul
Quintessence. I was so happy the day I got mine. As stupid as it was. So if you don't know what this is, let me tell you. Let me put vanilla in a nutshell for you. If you wanted to summon Ragnaros, you had to do a quest. Yep. A rather lengthy quest, actually. That involved, I think the first stage was, this is 12 years old, don't fucking suck my dick about it. I think the first part was something you had to do in Eastern Plaguelands, with killing some water elementals or something like that, or, I know it was Hydraxian Waterlord's rep. And you had to get Revered, I think, to get the Akul Quintessence. You could start the quest beforehand, but I think you needed Revered to get it. I'm not looking at the chat, so I'm going to spoil it for me. I'll see how much of this I can remember. Then you would get a quest for the Molten Core, which was to kill a certain amount of Molten Giants and Ragers, the rock elementals. I think you got that. And then I think you had to I think the next part of the quest was to get a certain amount of boss kills. And I think each boss dropped a certain item. So you didn't have to clear the dungeon, but you had to get a certain amount of boss kills. And then you got the Akul Quintessence. Now, the Akul Quintessence put out the runes on the floor where each Molten Core boss is.
You need to activate them.
Yeah, so you needed... But they were individual because they were on use, and you only got one use out of them. So you would need either... I forget how many Molten Core bosses there are. Let's say 10. You would need either 8, I think, because I don't think Lucifron had one. I don't think Lucifron...
Lucifron didn't, no.
Lucifron didn't have one.
Mage Noble did have one.
Mage Noble did have one. Lucifron, I don't think, did. Magmadar had it. Because Lucifron's in the same room as Magmadar, and I think it was Magmadar who had one. So you would then have to pour your Quintessence on the rune. Now, you would have to physically go back to the Eastern Plaguelands. No, it was Ashara. It was Ashara. And swim out into the middle of the ocean and there was an island that had a water elemental on it that would refresh your quintessence. So either you had to have 8 people with individual quintessens who all done the quest, which doesn't sound much in a 40-man. Let me tell you, no fucker did that quest. Or you had 1 guy or 2 guys who would put out the runes, and then they would have to go out of the raid, go to Ashara, swim out into the middle of the ocean, get a new one, come back to the raid, then put the next one out, then go back to Ashara, do that again, and rinse and repeat. And then it exalted, you got the permanent one that never ran out. I think that's right. There you go. Am I pretty close? I'm pretty close. I think I'm pretty close. Does that sound about right to you?
I don't know, mate, because I know when it was final.
I think I'm pretty close. I'm pretty close. Yeah, I don't think did it last an hour? Did you have to do it just before the raid start? I don't think it lasted an hour. I think it was longer. Close enough. Yeah, close enough. We'll take it. So, there you go. Yeah. Eternal was revered. Ah, okay. So, close. I mean, that's not that far off, right? I wasn't that far off. Not as bad as the Onyxia quest, to be fair. Which you could do it in an afternoon with a set group, especially if you had a mage in a group. You could do it in an afternoon. If you had a really dedicated group ready to do it.
Escort.
That fucking guy. What a twat. What an absolute bellend. I hated that fucking escort quest. What a complete toss knocker. Dick. Prison break, boys. Prison break. Yeah, but there's the problem with it, and this is why achievements kind of went away, is once people had done it, they did not want to do it again.
No.
No way. Once I did it twice. I did it for my warrior and I did it for my priest, and I fucking hated it. Like, on my priest, it was dead exciting, because you got to go to Grimbatol. In the wetlands, there was a place on the far east. I can't believe I can remember this shit. On the far east that you never had to go to in your entire account, but it was full of dragons. There was a fight going on there.
I've just thought original PvP ranking systems as well. Oh, God,
people love that.
People
love that.
I got
people
Marshal.
Love that.
I could not get Grand Marshal. You know why? Because your fucking nephew wouldn't farm it for me for one afternoon when I was away. So I got Marshal instead of Grand Marshal.
Oh, sad. Now I'm mad thinking about the escort quest, but you did get to turn into a dragon for a little while that looked nothing like it. I hate them dragon kin. They look nothing like a dragon. They look nothing like a dragon. My favourite vanilla classes. Let's do the list. Right, paladins are great. As a healer, as a vanilla healer, I was always envious of paladins. Because I was mainly jealous of human paladins. I hated looking at yours because your animation was so much better than my troll one. But we basically did the same thing. Holy Light, Flash of Light. I mean, that was it.
But what about little things like quest markers and stuff on the map?
Thought about it's there for a reason.
But that's what I'm saying though. Like, you can't open your map to see where a quest is.
No, you have to read it.
No.
But because that was a big thing between me and you, is often you would get because we leveled together a lot in vanilla.
Yep.
Is you would get a quest, and as soon as you clicked accept, you would alt tab and go to thought and type the quest in. While you were doing that, I would just read the quest and be already on my way, because it would say something like it's west of a cave or something like that. Mm-hmm. So I was like, well, it's over here, let's go. And you'd be like, 1 minute. And you'd spend like 5 minutes looking at where to go exactly. And usually Thoughtbot did it by putting markers all over the map. So if they were everywhere, the whole map would be full of markers. And that's what it is. Let's not forget our awesome... This is the Holy Pally gameplay. Flash of light. Flash of light. Flash of light. What's next? Oh, it's flash of light. Wait. Yep. It's flash of light. But genuinely, I was envious of this because you didn't even have to look at the screen. Like, this was a raid night, and you would do this all fucking night. And Zal. A lot of people in my chat know Zal. I've spoke to Zal. I've spoke to this guy personally. He's awesome. He's such a nice guy.
He did some good funny videos as well.
He did some great. He inspired me to start making videos. There's no doubt about it. And then to find out he was watching our videos, I was like, bro, that's fucking cream, man.
Was it Zal who was like fucking Scorpion's sister or something?
I don't know. I mean, I've raided with a few of these guys. I think Scorp might be in this raid. Yeah, there he is. There's Scorpion. I can just make out his name. Yeah. This guy's awesome, by the way. We went casino with him. Awesome. So good. You didn't come out with us that night, did you?
When?
When we went to casino with Scorp and
no.
Russell. Never mind.
Who's Russell?
Console. You didn't come out with us, don't matter. You're gonna love them both, though. You'll love them both. But this is what we're going back to. This guy's mostly healing dependent. Managed efficiency and durability healing of a paladin really comes in handy. Yeah, just pressing flash of light, essentially. This is it. He's clicking.
He's not moved from 4K mana.
He's not moved. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Like, this is Nax level paladins just did not run out of mana. Care please, because Hordes couldn't do this. But we had Wind Fury Tome, so he killed it way quicker, so fuck you. Fuck you. But this is what you're going back to. This is what you should expect to see by Nax Rammus, is things like this. And classes you want to look at, let's do the list. Rogue, Warrior, Rogue, 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 Druid, Priest, Priest, Mage. What a terrible group setup. Paladin, Paladin, Mage, Priest, Druid, Priest, Druid, Priest, Priest, Mage, Mage, Rogue, Paladin, Mage, Mage, Druid, Hunter, way, Paladin, Warrior, Warrior, Priest, Warrior, 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 Priest, Warrior, Hunter, one Warlock.
For the summons. No, he wasn't summons.
No, what is it?
No,
Why is he there? Why is that Warlock in this group? No.
No?
No. Why is this one Warlock in the group?
Not for
There's
summons.
two Warlocks, actually. There's two Warlocks. Why are there two Warlocks in this group?
I don't know. I would have thought Soulstone.
Come on, you know why. Don't look at the chat.
I'm not going to look at the
Because
chat.
they all know. Two Warlocks. Curse of Elements. For the mages.
Fuck, yeah, of course it was.
Curse of Elements, you cunt. Fuck off. If we could do it without you, we fucking would, man. We fucking would. We fucking would. So, for those of you, you're noticing... I mean, I'm disappointed at the lack of shamans in that group.
Well, this is a quality of life change.
It's a quality of life change. I mean, clearly shamans were broken.
And we need them
Goes
on the
without
alliance.
saying.
It's
Shamans were
unplayable.
broken.
It's
'cause
unplayable without shaman.
Not a single shaman in that entire raid.
What a joke.
What a joke. I mean, they're missing out on Bloodlust for some reason on Patchwork, which
Right.
is nuts.
Right?
Which is nuts. Absolutely
I mean,
crazy.
the whole overhealing the tank because he takes fluctuating damage. I mean, if you just took a monk tank... what?
Victory. Sweet victory.
Oh, the arsenal
Sweet victory. You didn't fall for... Yeah, but why would you fall for that? Why would you fall for something so obvious? But that's what you're going to be looking at anyway. In like, if you want to raid, you can play anything. And we have to say that. You can play anything you want. But if you want to if you want to get somewhere, you're probably going to end up playing those classes. And you should bear in mind, rogues rarely, I mean, until you got really good gear, it's kind of hard to fit Eviscerate in a lot of the time. Because usually by the time you get your energy
Slice
back,
and
you would
dice
just
and
refresh
rupture.
Slice and Dice.
Rupture as well.
I don't think they used Rupture, did they? Did they use Rupture?
Yeah.
See if I can find a video. 5 years ago.
Oh.
Sorry about the terrible UI, but there you go. I can't help it.
It's hard.
Not even using Slice and Dice.
Slice and dice is up.
There it goes. Slice and Dice
He
is up.
just shicks it, didn't have it up. And he put Blade Flurry up for some reason.
Blade Flurry was an awesome cooldown. No, it didn't. It made your energy go faster. It was well good. It was a cooldown. It wasn't like a cleave. Well, it did cleave, but it was more of a DPS cooldown. There you go.
It was not a toggle in vanilla, was it?
No.
Shit,
Blade
of
Flurry was
course
just
not.
a DPS cooldown. It
Yeah.
was just a DPS cooldown. Adrenaline Rush. I think Adrenaline Rush was there, and Blade Flurry, and then you pop cooldowns. Yeah, you would just go. Not haste. Don't call it haste. It was not haste. Haste didn't come into the game till later. It was not haste. But most of the time, you would just. Oh, it says Wind Fury. Look at the damage when he does Wind Fury. He's so good. When it says the Wind
When you get
Fury.
the four
and you
numbers
just,
that pop out
yeah, it
as
all
well.
just pops up. Wind Fury. Look at the fucking damage that comes out. Oh my god. Hit rating for life, bros.
Was it hitting vanilla?
No, haste was TBC. I'm sure of it. Haste was TBC.
So was attack power.
No, attack power was vanilla. Attack power was definitely vanilla because your weapon speed was a big deal because you wanted a 2.8 speed main hand for rogues. 12 years. 12 years. There you go. Something
or a
like
dagger
that.
offhand as well.
Something like that. Attack, yeah, exactly. Attack speed was vanilla. Haste is TBC. Haste was not in vanilla because people didn't understand haste for a while, And then the rogues tried the items. There was a craftable one-handed mace in TBC that had haste on it, or a haste proc. And the rogues were like,
The dragon had one.
let's test this thing out. And suddenly their damage was fucking retarded. Like, insanely good. Insanely good. 2.6, I'm so close. Come on. 12 years and I'm 0.2 attack speed off. Give me that.
No.
Give me that. Yeah, haste is TBC, I remember. Because it was the dragon head thing.
Dragon Strike.
Dragon Strike, there you go. And then you can upgrade it all the way.
Is that the one that stuns when you fully upgrade it?
No, that was Storm Herald.
Was it?
Yeah. It was the two-handed mace that stunned and did not share DRs with mace stun spec. So warriors would literally
Stun.
stun. Skill Herald, there you go. Skill Herald was the bad boy. Skill Herald was the bad boy that you wanted. But I don't know. It's gonna be so weird. They have to keep it standard, right? They have to. They can't change it.
If you fuck around, it's not classic.
It's not classic. It's not classic, and it really screws with the rest of the game. It really does. Now the only problem is, I think we're going to burn through the content so quickly, so crazy quickly. I will look forward to doing things like the things I never got to. This is for me. This is why I like it. Things I never got to do in vanilla. I never got to do the legendary staff 5-man Atiesh quest in not Charlemagne's Stratholme.
Don't know.
I think it was in Stratholme. Where was the 5-man? I think it was in Stratholme. And it was really hard, apparently. From the friends I know who did it, I never got to go. The friends I know who did it, they said it was really hard for a 5-man. How will that marry up between today? I don't know. I don't know.
Money was the thing, as well, for your mounts.
Gold's a bitch.
Yeah. Was it 100 or 500 for a normal and 1,000?
It was 1,000 gold for you
for
an epic mount.
Something like that.
I think it was way cheaper for your normal one. I kind of recall having to borrow something like 200 gold to get my first mount.
And the mats for a paladin charger was a fucking nightmare.
It was still cheaper than buying it, though.
It was
still
cheaper.
cheaper. Yeah, it was still cheaper.
If you were auction housing, if you were lucky enough to find the mats on the auction house, those motherfuckers were ramped. Unless you found it.
Yeah, it's 1,000 in total, right? It's 1,000 in total. 1,000 in total, but you get the idea. I think the paladin one worked out about 700, something like that. Yeah, something weird. But it was the warlock quest in Dire Maul is always fun, where you actually have to get your mount out of the Nether. That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, it's pretty good. Reagents for some abilities, that won't be a big deal. They were always super cheap. Candles and seeds were always super cheap, and I think you had symbols as a paladin.
Yeah,
you had to take symbols.
DI, mate. Divine Intervention.
Divine Intervention.
I'm not taking no repair bills.
Divine Intervention, baby. The Dreadsteed of Zoroth. That quest was always really fun. I like taking my Warlock friends to do that quest. I always healed it for them. Yeah, Symbol of Kings. They were really annoying, kind of, but people just started stacking them up. Like, I had enough for weeks of raiding. Like, when Druids used to tell me they couldn't fucking res because they hadn't got any seeds, you're a terrible player.
Yep.
If you're playing a Druid, you should have seeds to res all the time.
Ammunition, mate. Bullets, arrows, better have ammunition.
Is ammunition a nostalgia thing?
What do you mean?
Like, when it comes back, are people actually just going to be pissed?
People are going to be pissed.
This is actually way more annoying.
People are going to be pissed. Like, I want to play. If we played vanilla when it comes out, I'm going to play a rogue, but I'm going to be. I don't think I'm going to be pissed. I'm just used to the ease of not having
to give a shit
that I have to buy reagents to craft my poisons to put it on my weapon, right? In vanilla, you have to do that. You have to go to a vendor to buy the reagents to craft your poisons, so you've only got a finite number of poisons to put on your weapons. For certain poisons and blinding, you have to actually go into the world to farm those materials or get them on auction house.
Immersion.
That's RPG though. I'm not bashing it.
No, it's right.
I'm not bashing it. That is an RPG.
It makes sense that hunters should have to get ammunition. Yeah. It makes sense that you should have to carry bows, arrows, and you get the proper arrows as well, because there were different tiers of arrow that added more damage. So
vanishing powder as well. Yeah.
I like people who used to go on the auction house because it could only show 3 digits in the auction house, so they put 100 arrows up for the price of 1,000 arrows or something like that, and rip off every hunter on the server. Total scammers, man. Well, rogues could use poison sometimes. It depends on you. Depends on your raid. So rogues could use poison sometimes.
Instant poison for a start.
You can use poison sometimes.
And deadly if you
Thistle
if you're
tea.
allowed to
Yeah,
stack.
get your thistle tea. Get your thistle tea. Our memories are always going to
For
be
the
wonky on
haste.
this.
Oh, no haste, mate.
No haste. No haste. No, it gave you
Say
energy.
that.
Thistle tea refilled your energy.
Oh, it did.
Yeah, you drank your thistle tea and got all your energy back. Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you could use instant poison. You couldn't use deadly though. That's a valuable.
What about wound?
No, mate, that's a that's a debuff slot. Don't talk.
What about
nonsense.
wound? What about wound? Well, we've already got Mortal Strike covering healing. We're fine.
That's it. We're done.
Yeah, we've given
We're done.
Mortal Strikes covering that. We're fine. We're fine. But there are definitely things I'm not looking forward to. Farming Tyr's Hand, for example, for gold.
I remember watching a video of a Fury Warrior farming that, like, ridiculously farming that. Because they were elites, weren't they?
Yeah.
And
Tyr's
he
Hand was
was
good
mincing
PvP,
them.
good money.
And I went there before I started raiding with my rogue with his, like, 2 tree sticks. Like, I just walked away.
Tyr's Hand was all about it. Farming Black Lotus. Well, I was a herbalist, so as a priest, you couldn't really get much done solo in the world. I had to be a herbalist to get my pots, otherwise I would never have been able to raid. It was way too expensive. Because raiding is really expensive in vanilla. Really
Absolutely.
expensive. Luckily, to be fair, we didn't flask.
No, did I balls?
We didn't flask. If we're being fair, we didn't flask.
I
Like,
didn't
it was a big
flask.
deal when you saw everybody was flasked.
And if you wanted me a pot, I'd only do it if a gay priest would give me some.
Yeah. I found my own mana pots. I did find my own mana pots, but I'd sell the Black Lotuses. I didn't want them. Anyway, let's move on to Battle for Azeroth then. Now, the first question I have about Battle for Azeroth and things important to everyone is, Ian, what are these pants?
No, mate. Before that, can I ask? If I'm looking at that picture there, it looks like Sylvanas has not even readied her bow, and it looks like she's about to get fucking whomped by Anduin. There's no arrow in the bow. It's not ready. The string is not drawn. Anduin is lining up to fucking home run her right in the face with Charlemagne. Yeah? Drink that in.
We were talking about the cutscene earlier, and the scene with Andy Pandy. Hold on. The scene with Andy Pandy where he gets the...
Wait a minute. She's already shot. Well, bitch, she missed. Look.
She missed.
Yeah?
She missed. See if we can get to it.
Sylvanas press 7.
I think this is possibly one of the best scenes they've done in
And people
this one.
mock it.
This is
People
amazing.
mock it. It's amazing.
That scene captures everything about this moment. Like, his eyes tearing up. He can't replace his dad. He's not a paladin. That's not what he's about. And he realizes
acceptance.
He realizes, one, I can't be what my dad does. I'm different. And he accepts that. And he goes into it like this. And he's very emotional about it. I think this is one of the most perfect scenes they've captured in any cutscene.
Yeah.
It's absolutely tremendous. It really is great. I loved everything about this. I like this. I mean, Sylvanas' Banshee thing was great. I thought it should have been a bit more hardcore. Because we've been waiting a long time for it to actually go Banshee mode. But this particular moment that they captured with him, I thought this was fantastic.
Look at everyone. He's crying. He's a little bitch. I fucking hate that sheeple mentality.
Sheeple, no, this
It
is
Look,
wonderful.
The amount of
This
people
is
that say
fantastic.
that is because they're on a bandwagon. Arseholes.
No, this was great.
It's a well good scene. It's fucking great.
That was tremendous. It really was. That was absolutely one of the most well captured scenes they'd done. Well, Battle for Azeroth did follow up, and they were a little sparse. Now, I was wondering, they showed some stuff, but not as much as we'd liked. They were very vague about a lot of things, actually, and they were quite open about saying, look, things are going to change here. Yeah, he doesn't go holy, though. He's going dis. Whee! He's going to man one. Get a gosh, sheeple. They were pretty shy on the details, intentionally so. I actually think they knew that BFA was probably going to be overshadowed by Classic. I think they knew that going in. Is that people are going to be talking way more about Classic coming back
And
than
I
the
think
new
that's
expansion.
why they didn't. I know that obviously this is very, very early stage, but I think it's also why they didn't dwell on it.
Yeah, I agree. I think they showed some of the main features. They're not sure. They didn't go into any details with it, and then they moved past it because they knew that the big hype was going to be
Another
Classic.
fucking troll raid.
Are you with me? I'm not into it. I don't care much for the troll stuff at all, and a lot of people were angry about that because they like troll stuff, I guess. But for me,
It's all the fucking time.
Zul'Gurub was great. Zul'Man I got really tired of real quickly. Throne of Thunder's decent, but it doesn't kick me in the dick. does not blow my skirt off is the troll raid. Or troll stuff. And that's why, and I said it, is like Alliance for me, next expansion, is way more tempting to play. I think the 3 zones on the Alliance side look way better. We'll have to get to the races soon, because obviously people want, certainly your opinion on the races. We have to call them allied races, not sub races, or allied races. It's important. It's important. I think the Alliance three islands look way better. The allied races they're getting look better. And the troll stuff, despite the undead dinosaurs and stuff look fantastic. The models look great and all that. But as a place to live for the next expansion, I think the Alliance looks very tempting. Very tempting for me. I'll keep my main wherever the guild goes, obviously. But for other than that, I don't mind playing Alliance. All right, let's do it then. Let's do it. Fine. Andy, your thoughts?
I'm going to make my Hunter into a Void Elf, mate.
The Hunter is going Void Elf. Chat, your thoughts.
Don't like these armor sets, though.
The question is, we know that if you roll one from Fresh and cap it, you will unlock an armor set.
Is it that armor set?
Don't know. And no, I've checked through the notes, and there's nothing particularly clear.
The only reason why I'm inclined to believe it's the armor set is because of the effort and animation that they're putting on the shoulders. But I don't think. I mean, this is what I was saying to you. This is what I was saying to you offline. Okay, listen to this. This is how I vision it now. 120. No, you get to level 20. Yeah. 100.
Don't be pretty sure. They have not said that.
Okay. 100-ish levels of grinding for an armor set that's potentially bollocks. No, I'll pay the fucking money if I want one capped.
Now, this is the side thing that I want to talk about tonight with you guys. Is there's been definitely big feedback on the sub-race system as being a cash-in, essentially a loot box system.
Agreed.
A very, very obvious microtransaction system, because as he pointed out on stage, as soon as you unlock it, you can pay to swap it, and it is not fucking cheap. It is not cheap. Actually, it was more expensive than we thought it was going to be.
17 quid.
I think it's 19 quid. I think, something like that. It's 19 quid. If I check right here, if I log in. I think it's 19 quid to log it, to swap a race, which is very expensive.
But yeah, that's what I was saying is, short of, like, the light forged, I'll click on this.
Here we go.
20 quid.
Yeah, it's 19 quid.
It's a fucking joke, that, man.
That's expensive.
50 quid for a character boost. It's more than the fucking game.
I think it's exact. Is it not the exact same price as Legion? So, because otherwise,
Legion wasn't 50 quid.
Yeah, but the point is, if you bought Legion, you get that anyway, right? So you just have another.
You
account.
just buy another fucking Legion.
Yeah, I think that aren't they the same price?
Probably.
I think so. I can't afford any. Well, I can't get any because I've got them, which is a bit of a bully. But yeah, it's 19 quid. Yeah, I think they should give you one for free. I think they absolutely should give you one for free.
Nice mug, that.
I'm not joking there. I think you should get at least one for free. I think that's exactly what they should do.
Your only incentive to actually level one, because you've done the leveling, let's be honest, is the armor sets. And now, like, what I was saying is, like, a light forged Draenei, if it doesn't get what Terrellion's wearing, I wouldn't. If it's that quality, I'm not just saying for that specific armor set, but that quality of armor set that's on Terrellion, so it's in game. If we don't get that quality of armor set, there is no incentive to level it. They're showing the back of that armor, which leads me to believe that that's probably the armor set for the Void Elves. In which case, I will race change.
Now, there's an interesting thing, because they could give what they traditionally do now is give us a boost. Now, there's mixed messages. Now, I just want to be clear on this. You might think you know. All I can say is, look, I've watched every interview they've done with the devs. Some of it is conflicting, so let's keep an open mind and don't be 100% definite on what you think you heard, because I'm not trying to bullshit you. That's all I'm saying. Is we're not 100% sure whether if you make a character and then boost it, that counts as you leveling one from scratch.
Right.
It should do, because you've used a boost and you did make a new one. That makes sense to me. Ergo, you're getting one for free. Now, but just let me finish this thought.
Yeah.
That's not the point. The point is, that's a new character. If you have a main character that you have mained for years, and you've always wished, if you were a paladin, if you always wished that was a Dark Iron Paladin, they should give you one for free.
Well, the armor set.
Because it's all good saying, well, it is free preach, because you can make a new character and you can boost it, maybe, right? We're not sure. And they're not sure on whether that's going to work. But that's not the point. Your main character might be the one you want to be the new race. I don't want to level a new character and have a new Void Elf or a new Dark Iron Paladin.
Or my existing character.
I want my existing Paladin to be switched. So I would really appreciate, if you've included this thing as a race that I had no access to before, I would really appreciate one free one. I think that's fair.
And would you get the armor set for doing it?
No. They're pretty clear on that. The armor set is an incentive to level from scratch. If
not
you
that
change
big
your
of an
main
incentive.
character, you do not get the armor set.
That is the only one with something that's mildly stand out. The rest of the armor sets, gosh, there you go. Look at that. Do you want a big totem on your back? I'm sure you do. There you go. There's an armor set for you if you want to go for a with antlers like serving plates. In fairness to him, it's a fucking Tauren with different antlers.
I'm not digging it, though.
No.
I'm not digging it. I'm not digging it. Yeah, a pre-order bonus. I don't think it should be a pre-order bonus. I think you should get one free one. I think that's fair.
One free. Yeah. Do you know what?
I think that's
that's
totally fair. You should get one free one. If you really wanted your Tauren to look like this for a long time, I'm not saying that applies to everybody. Some people just think the new one is cool, but a lot of people don't want to just give up on their main to change race, and it's expensive. 19 quid to change is expensive. How much is like Legion now? Legion. What was Legion on launch? Was it 40 quid?
Top post MMO champion. Why is Legion still full price?
It's 35 quid right now. How much was it at launch though? 40 euros. We got any of that in $50? $50. It's like half the price of an expansion just to change your race. That's costly, boys.
Keep going.
It is costly.
What else we got?
So the Tauren, they're okay. I mean, they got a little bit more graffiti to them, I suppose.
I can guarantee these are the armors.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. I'm just saying they weren't 100% clear on it. They weren't. But I agree these probably are, though. Yeah. They might get some more tweaks. I thought that now here we got the Alliance ones. They're way better. I think they look really cool.
They are. Yeah, I do like that.
Yeah? I mean, you know he's still going to run terribly. But the female one, I think that is tremendous. I think it looks really cool. The golden eyes look fantastic. The armor looks really good. You like these, I think, right? Now, a lot of people, when they do Court of Stars and you become these, really like these. Certainly on the HUD. I've heard it many, many times.
What I wanted... This is what I was saying about the Nighthold raid, though, is their raid armors should have been themed around that kind of armor. As is every fucking raid should be. Do you know what my biggest thing is that I can't get out of my brain is, it's in the game, it's not excessive, that should be the theme of your armor sets. You're doing a Nighthold raid for Nighthold armor, it should look like Nighthold armor, like that. But I mean, that's not even the flamboyant one, you know, with all the arcane glyphs that are floating around of it and stuff. That's a more subtle version. The male's got a bit on his forehead of it. But, you know.
Do you think...
No, the druid was just a robe that was the same material as it. I'm talking about, you know, like just... They're like some sort of glowing arcane relics like that. The druid wasn't as detailed as that.
Who likes this one? Let's do a little poll then. Just quickly in the chat.
It's okay.
Who saw this? Because I know I've been in conversations when we've taken on this guys in Court of Stars. People are like, God, I would wish I could be this model. Like all the time. I would really love to do it. So now you're getting the option. Who's actually into it? So a mix. Okay.
I like it.
Meh. Like it. Looks alright. Like it a lot.
Alright, can I just ask, right?
So mixed.
This isn't a loaded question or anything like that, right? I know people don't like humans, right?
Well, I mean...
Wow.
Cold,
sure. If your character model had, like, the right... No disproportionate hands and legs, and it had the right model, and it was as detailed as Terrellian in terms of hair detail, facial detail, optional scars, would you play a human?
Me? What about the animations? It's all about animations for me. I can't see my character, but I can see its animations. The animations...
Obviously, if it didn't run like you needed a shit when you press sprint or something.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's not really about the details, because I never see my character up that close, unless I'm on the login screen. For me, it's just about the animations. And so, human animations I'm not a big fan of.
I hate them.
I don't mind I like the healing ones. I like the healing human animations. But I don't mind the human female casting animations, actually. I don't mind them at all. I don't mind them. But male, no. Unless I would make a male Holy Paladin. If I was going to play a Holy Paladin as a raider, I would be a human male, for sure. But anything else, I would probably... At most of the classes, I'd be female. I don't like the hunters. They look too stocky and stuff for me. They look really weird. This actually surprised me. I think these look really cool. I don't know whether it's nostalgia or whether I like grim stuff because they look dead. But I really like them. I mean, not the female because I'm not an idiot, but I like the male ones. You know, I could do that. I mean, a male Dark Iron Dwarf tank, cool.
I can see it. It's not
very cool.
It's not for me, but I can see the appeal.
I mean, I think you could do some very cool mods with it as well.
It'd have to be all around that colour.
Yeah, I mean, you have to theme it on Dark Iron.
I mean, imagine challenge mode Paladin with that dead skin inside that really nice flamboyantly golden and blue set. Not gonna work.
It'd be like the mountain from Game of Thrones.
Yeah!
It'd be like the mountain from Game of Thrones. Like, oh, Jesus Christ! I thought you were a different kind of fella. But yeah, still, there's nothing wrong with female dwarves. Debatable.
Here's something. Don't put it in the chat because you're probably a big paragraph. Is the lore in terms of the Dark Iron Dwarves in terms of why they look like that?
Jesus.
Tweet it to me. Don't put it in the chat.
Tweet at me, bitches. You know a player when you see one. All right. Non-crooked trolls. Yes, easily the winner. As much as I like all of the Alliance ones, this is clearly the winner of all 6.
Don't stand like a twat.
This is the winner.
They're good.
This is the winner by miles. Because that is so much better. So much better. I mean, we could still got no shoes, which is an issue.
2 toes.
We still got no shoes, but it is clearly the winner by a long way. We've got nipples. Thumbs up.
Noted.
The armor looks decent as well. It's a bit bare bones, I suppose, but we're getting some. I mean, I assume we're going to be able to mess around with the skin a bit.
Oh, and sort of like
the so we don't look like we've got leprosy.
Kind of
grayscale.
Grayscale.
Yeah, so it doesn't look like we've got grayscale. But these were easily the winners for me. I think this is everything people wanted. Upright Orcs are confirmed too. Yes, they are. So Swobu indeed. Swobu for days.
Is there more races to be announced?
They're going to add more to the game. This is the way they're going. And I was talking about this on the stream the other day, is WoW now has entered the full-on period where cosmetics trounce gameplay every day of the week. For the vast majority of the player base, it's all cosmetic. They can, and as I demonstrated, you can play like this all day as long as you look cool doing it.
You're going to cut the stream off one of these days doing that, you. Risky business.
But that is what's happening. It's all cosmetic. That's the way it's going to be. It doesn't matter if the raids are balanced, the classes are balanced. It doesn't fucking matter to anyone as long as I can make a really cool character. I don't like that.
I love that.
I don't like that, but that is the way it's going, right? That is the way it's going. More people are hyped about this than any other feature in Battle for Azeroth. And that is without question. No matter where you look, people give way more of a shit about upright orcs and standing tall trolls and being other things than anything else that was announced regarding Battle for Azeroth. It was all about the sub-races. How do they work? How cool are they? That's what I saw. Now, I don't like that, but there you go.
Oh, we only have Alliance only has 2 races of druids and Horde gets an extra 2 races that can be druids.
Big controversy, yeah. Big
Holy
controversy.
Fuck, that's not fair.
Now, we know they can't be DKs either, or Demon Hunters.
Yeah.
I think some can be DKs. I'm not entirely sure.
No, as I went through them originally, no, you can't. Look at Jaina while she's let it go.
Do you think this was mean of putting Vol'jin in this screenshot like that?
That's fucking quality.
Now, there's a point. There's a point. They're going to expand on Vol'jin's story. They're going to do his origins.
He's in the picture because he's earned it.
Oh, yes! Yes! Yes, indeed. He has earned that spot. He has earned that spot. But they have said they are going to explore a bit of Vol'jin because he did get a bit of a rough time of it. That poor lad, didn't he? He got like 5 minutes in charge. Then he was like, "Ah, shit." But they are going to do some stuff with Vol'jin. Drops the mic. Nailed it. He earned it. Poor Jaina looks. I said this right, and I want to put it out on this stream because this will probably get seen more than like our other streams where we talked about this.
Is she back now that she's built?
Yeah, she's back. I'm predicting now. So our artifact weapons at some point towards the end of this expansion, or probably on the day of the new one, more likely, we're going to turn in our artifact weapons. What? Yeah, Sandals is back. Is that what you're going to say?
He had a fucking skinhead like a year ago. And now look at his hair.
Is this a bald gut joke?
No, he shaved his head. Right? He had a fucking skinhead.
It grows back.
That fucking quick? That's like 15 years growth, that!
Well, he's an orc. It's different.
Lore, yeah?
Immersion.
Ruined.
We talked about this, and I'm sure you guys can probably feel me on this. It seems to make total sense to me. Is we're going to turn in our artifact weapons. We're going to get a replacement for that for sure. So they don't just take out. Oh, is that your most powerful feature of your character? Well, I thank you, and leave you with nothing. They're going to give you an artifact weapon or a weapon back, and then we're going to get our new artifact, the Heart of Azeroth, which is a necklace, which collects the lifeblood of Azeroth, which is all bleeding and seeping out, and it's called Azerite. That's what's going to be our new AP. It's Azerite, and God, it's automatically collected.
Question.
Thank you.
How are they going to bring Thrall into it against the Alliance?
You're just going to turn up and you go, hello.
That's what I mean, though. Hello there.
You might do a cutscene where he's knocking at the door.
He's hippie, isn't he? Smashed off his tits on fucking herbal remedies. And now he hates the Alliance for some reason.
No, he just hates
Did he bang Jaina?
No. She couldn't take his dick.
Took green dick.
I guarantee he shoots a load like a shotgun.
Yeah, blow her stomach clean out. He could use a kryptonite condom, but then that'd kill him.
So we're going to get our new necklaces, which works for all specs.
Artifact appearances that you've unlocked are going into your transmog archive.
Cashback.
That is why I'm doing like kill Jaden heroic on all my alts that I've got them unlocked and stuff for the alternate colours. But sorry, go on.
Now this collects the lifeblood of Azeroth, the Azerite that's going to pop up. It's going to be our new AP. The necklace works for all specs. Thank God. And it's just automatically collected. Freedom from clicking that fucking button. I wonder how many times I clicked AP over the course of the expansion.
Hate it. Do you know what I hate the most about AP? If I've collected a dickload of it and then I've got my order hall quest done as well, and I'll be clicking through it and then I'll accidentally right-click something that looks like it's probably an AP token, but it's actually a follower item upgrade, and it just opens that window. It's like, fuck off!
But 10,000 plus, I would say even more than that, honestly. Even more than that. But either way, the whole purpose is everybody who's playing Battle for Azeroth and has the necklace is going to be collecting the lifeblood of Azeroth. I am 100% sure that we, as in the Horde and the Alliance, are going to, at some point, destroy a lot of Azeroth. Now, you can see Jaina going mad and detonating some sort of mana bomb somewhere and ruining... I mean, I think they're going to ruin a few zones on purpose. I mean, literally change the game.
Wasteland.
Yeah, because they've done 3 zones. They look kind of cool, but I'm pretty sure the art team's been kick-ass. Is they're going to wreck a big part of Azeroth. And then the end of the expansion is us giving our lifeblood back to Azeroth that we've all collected together, and allowing Azeroth to heal itself. I think that's the overall journey of this expansion, is we're going to just wreck the whole fucking place, and then we're going to repair it at the end of the expansion.
Why is Magni Guy Diamond from Trolls?
I mean, that's clutch.
I know that we had the quest with him, but why is he like a walking diamond?
Why not?
I don't get it. What's
Celestial,
what's
yours.
the relevance? Hey,
Celestial,
Lore, tweeting me,
yours.
bitches. Why is Guy Diamond, or Magni Guy Diamond?
Who shot first, though? It's the big question for Battle for Azeroth. Who shot first? I think we know. I think Noble tweeted out that we do know who attacks first. Because, well, the Horde burned down Teldrassil, and the Alliance lay siege to Lordaeron. Who shot first? The Horde? The Horde shot first?
Horde?
It was a fucking tree. Who cares, man? Get over it. Fucking tree.
That's like sacred ground for an entire race of people. That's just racist.
Yeah, I mean, I was pretty sure we did know who did it, but why? What's the... I mean, I am curious as to what sets it off for us to go and burn down Teldrassil.
A lot of people are saying Gen. Why Gen?
Is he the dog? I shouldn't get into lore, should I? Curious. Just curious. I'm curious. But in terms of Battle for Azeroth features, I think they've nailed it pretty much overall. I have done some individual videos on this, but this system looks miles better. I hope it's not boring. Really hope this is not boring. These things. As boring as a lot of the artifact stuff. Like, just percentage increases. I imagine it's going to be. I hope it's not. I hope these are fun and allow you to specialise your character in a much more interesting way than we could in Legion. What is this nuclear bomb, Andy?
We saw that the other day, didn't
Predictions. What is this nuclear bomb?
Not
what is it?
As appealing
Look at this.
As its icon would suggest, I'm betting.
It's not flying over.
That is the icon of a nuclear bomb. It's a chamois by the looks of it.
It is a chamois. Yeah, it is a chamois. that they showed it on. But what is this
Why
nuclear
did they
bomb?
get a nuclear bomb? A fire tornado, you think? Is it spinning?
It's not an elemental, because that's over here. They're keeping that one. So what is it? What is it? It's Nomi.
Summon
This
Nomi.
is summon Nomi. Improved Nomi. Yeah, very cool. Yeah, so if you're not clear on how it's going to work, you're going to be getting Azerite armor. The higher level your Heart of Azeroth is, you can see it's got level 10 there, the more stuff on each of these pieces of armor you'll be able to unlock. Now, that doesn't mean that you have to re-unlock it when you get new armor. If you get a new piece of armor later in the expansion, as long as whatever your level your necklace is, the more stuff will already be unlocked on it.
Do you replace your Azerite armor?
Yeah, for sure. They've even shown that it's buffed in, like, that's what this window is. Like, there's a normal version, heroic version, and mythic version that are better quality.
So you only get Azerite armor at endgame?
This is dungeon loot, not particularly endgame.
So that's what I'm saying though. Say if I got like...
I think you'll get it while leveling, to be honest.
Well, if I got like a mythic 5 man, got a piece of Azerite armor in there, I'm not going to find better armor per se in mythic raid.
It doesn't Titan Forge, but it has got item level. So yeah.
Oh, it does have item level.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it can't Titan Forge because it already carries so much extra. It's essentially already Titan Forged, right? It's already done.
And that's what I like about that.
So Titan Forge is coming in. Legendary system is gone. Legendaries, weren't really clear. I watched 4 interviews where they mentioned legendaries. All they were really clear is that the current legendary system is gone. But that doesn't mean there are no legendaries.
That sounds like they've actually gone into a meeting and Ian just sat down and said, look, if anyone asks anything about legendaries in the Battle for Azeroth, all you are going to say is it's not the same system.
Yeah, the system is gone. Now, that either means they're going back to drop legendaries or the quest legendaries. I think there will be something in there, but they're not doing it. I brought this up a number of times. This is my best feature so far, is the communities feature.
Beautiful.
Can't wait for this. This is going to make my life so much better, is having these vast communities across the game that aren't just your guild. So, essentially, these are independent groups that you can join. They can be everything from trade skillers on the server to auction house manipulators to people who are into Stranger Things 2. You know, it can be anything you want. So we can have them for our community. You guys can all be a part of it. If I'm looking to do dungeons, or you guys looking to do dungeons with people that you just meet in this community, they'll be in there. We can have people already who... I already said we'll have 2 groups. We'll have a general community, and then because the way I do heroic pugs is nothing to do with that level or anything, is if you come to a normal and you're clearly doing what is asked of you and adapting, and I can see that happening, I will gladly bring you for heroic. It's not about item level or anything like that. As long as I know you are a capable player, or you can listen and you understand what to do, then I will have a community of people who are like, these are the guys who can come to heroic. And we'll add you into that, and that'll be like the priority system is how we work it through there. So this is fantastic. Love this. Absolutely love this system. Because now...
Don't gloss over the guild name, mate.
What was it? Tides of Vengeance. No, it's not cross-faction, not cross-faction, and not cross-oceanic. But it should fix a big problem I have, which is... can I show it here, actually?
Small dick. Lack of sexual magnetism. Low self-esteem. Herpes.
Like, right now...
Halitosis.
My stuff is full, and I still have, like, 63 pending invitations. And I just can't do anything. Like, there are just so many of them. So communities will make life so much easier. Exposed. Fuck you guys. Exposed. Warfronts, I think, look really cool. People still think this is PvP. I don't get how clear he could have made this, that Warfronts are not PvP. They're a PvE situation. Where we'll have big siege fights. That sounds fucking awesome to me, man.
Sounds fucking awesome.
I hope it's...
Absolutely sounds fucking awesome.
That sounded well sarcastic.
No, not in sarcastic to
that
you.
That sounded well
not
sarcastic.
In sarcastic to you. I mean, in terms of this is a really exciting mechanic, or potentially exciting mechanic, especially for me.
Yeah, they've got RTS stuff in here. We're going to be able to build bases. We're going to have these big sieges. I think these look really fucking cool.
Yeah.
Really cool. And it's really awesome. It looks like it's going to be a ton of fun to do. That's an extra thing to do on top of guild stuff, which isn't raiding or PvE or PvP, which are kind of the 2 things you get pushed into as a guild. You got Mythic Plus. Now we've got Warfronts we can go and do. So this should be really fun when it's organized well. I think this could be a real satisfying experience if it's organized well and it's done properly.
How long does this event kind of thing last? Do we know?
We don't know yet whether it's going to be. Are you asking if it's like once a week or can we do it every spammable content?
The actual event of when you're doing it. Because I'm saying like
It's all the way through.
Apparently someone in chat said some of the streamers said this could have been a PvP thing, but if it lasts for fucking ages or the way that the mechanics work, then potentially it could.
It's just something you queue up for.
It's a presumption.
Yeah, it's just something you queue up for. Oh, it's not. No, I know what they're talking about. Like Ian was asked if it's going to be PvP, and he kind of just went, "It's not what it's designed for. It's not designed for that."
That's fair enough.
He said he kind of did that maybe in the future, which is mean. I'm sure they have a golden rule at BlizzCon now, which is never say never, because that's what they did with Classic, and it came back to bite them in the ass. Never say never. Even if we know that is never going to happen, something might happen in the future, and we don't know that. So never say never. Just say. Probably not in the near future, right? You know, that's what they kind of do. But it's designed for PvE. We're going to launch a war. We're going to build units. They're going to be flooding in. We're going to have commanders and stuff. I'm really looking forward to this. I think this is, like, certainly as a streamer's perspective, putting these together should be fucking loads of fun. Let's go and do a war front. Let's kick ass. Let's take names. I think it's going to be cool. Also, I think the island thing looks really good. Of the two main features they showed off, I think the islands look really awesome. I hope they're not tedious. That could be the big problem, is if they're tedious. But if they're not tedious, and this is fun scenario content that's got a good level of difficulty to it, 15 to 20 minutes pieces of content, role agnostic, which always makes me think, is it though? Because that usually means it's very easy with an organized group.
Yep.
Even on the mythic difficulty, if it's role agnostic, it tends to get a bit wonky once you have a decent group of people, which was one of my problems with the scenarios.
Means you can face roll it with 3 DPS at some point, right?
Either you can face roll it with 3 DPS or a tank that is high DPS.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 2 DPS and a tank that's high DPS. Like, you can imagine if Blood DKs are Vengeance Demon Hunters in the current iteration, or Brewmasters especially, could probably wreck that place while not taking any damage. The big twist on this, if they were like pure PvE, I would almost guarantee right now, and I'd say on stream, these are going to be tedious as fuck. But it's the 3 AIs that are involved. They're the ones that are going to... This does
Make or break.
Exactly. This system doesn't work without the champions. The champions are what makes this work. Otherwise, they're just going to be farmed. And that's going to be boring as fuck. This is what's going to make or break it. And they seem to be pretty proud of this system that they've come up with. The advanced NPCs. They seem to be very proud of what they've made here. I hope they're as good as they're saying they are. Because this is what'll twist it. Other than this, it's just going to be like a scenario where you farm through it and you get out of it and get done. This is the thing. This is the thing that's going to make it work. Unpredictability.
Big thing.
That face, though. That's a shame, isn't it?
No, it is funny.
That is a shame.
That undead
That is a
rogue's
shame.
about to get the business end of that fucking cannon in a mush, isn't she?
Yeah, exactly. They do have a PvP mode, so you can go normal, heroic, mythic, or PvP. I guarantee people won't want to do the PvP one, because that's going to be the hardest to get done. Unless the reward is really good, people won't want to do the PvP one. Unless you get a group of 3 PvPers who are terrible, which I think will be off-putting to bad PvPers in the first place.
I'm assuming this is like each zone of this is not massive, but like a pretty big island.
15 to 20 minutes is what they're saying to get it done. So each island was procedurally generated, which means they have a location, but what you encounter at this location will be different each time. So you can see these are buff totems, some mobs, and a boss-type enemy, a chest of loot. And then they show like later ones at the same place. So at night time it's different.
Like League of Legends.
And then in the evening it's now big big monster guys. You got some bug thighs and it's got portals to close, things like that. So they're saying there's loads of stuff it's all procedurally generated. It should be random. It should be dynamic. It should be this is the big thing, dynamic replayability. So it's not a case of the old scenarios of Mr. Pandaria where you did it once and you were like, this is awesome. Did it the second time, I was like, this is boring now. This is boring. And you were like, kill me. I don't want to do these fucking scenarios. Jesus Christ. I don't want to do these scenarios anymore, which happened like the second time. Because the first time I did the monkey scenario in Mr. Panera, that was well good. You swinging from trees. I was like, oh, this is really awesome. The second time I was like, this is really tedious. This fucking
won't be
sucks.
done.
So it's all going to come down to these advanced AIs for me. If these make it work, because they want you to have names. I think the rogue's called Sneaky Pete. They want you to get to know these characters almost. Like, if fucking Sneaky Pete's here, that guy's a twat. You know, they want you to get to know them. They have names and stuff for them, right? There's like, I'm sure they came up with names. I can't remember them off the top of my head. But these were called the Wolf Pack, I think, these 3.
That's a cool idea.
Yeah, these 3 are called the Wolf Pack. So whatever they do should be a thing. they want you to be calling them by their names. I definitely get that vibe. Is that they are going to be so cool and so annoying.
Makes sense.
That you actually
Probably
get a
got their own
personality
dialogue
for
and
them.
stuff like that as well.
Yeah, and combos.
Wouldn't be surprised.
I would love to
Absolutely.
see them having
Absolutely.
combos. I would
Nice
love
synergy.
to exactly, or even to the point where you're annoyed because you know Sneaky Pete's going to come and get you.
Yeah.
Right, and you're trying to work around Sneaky Pete, and but the AI is so good that if he is, you know, your priest is working around Sneaky Pete coming for the sap, that he does something else.
Yeah.
Right, that's what you're hoping for. So that should make it a lot of fun. The only issue I have with it that could make it so it's easy and boring is role agnostic. We'll have to see how that plays out because what that led to was certainly once you got gear it was not a
Sorry
challenge.
for the confusion. Island Expeditions is the event we're talking about right now, right?
Yes.
Then that makes sense to me in terms of role agnostic. If
Yes.
if this is the stuff with the advanced AI,
Yes.
then it does make sense.
Yeah, I do. It's basically the mop scenarios, but they've redone it. They've reorganized it, rejigged
There's another character called Oprah Windfury.
it. Maybe. You know, Sneaky Pete is going to be a fucker. They seem proud. If they bring one up, generally in these presentations, they bring one up by name. It's because that's the one that's stuck with them. Yeah. If they bring it up in the so we've got different environments. So we've got the Ungol Ruins they're going to do, which is the island one, and the other one was Havenswood Island. How are we going to get these maps? I don't know. I mean, he said you could do like three of the same one in a day, and that's why it would all be different each time.
Nice.
Yeah, they look very cool.
That looks really fucking cool. That
Exactly.
map.
That's the good thing about scenarios is they don't really need to make sense.
No.
Because they're uncharted islands, is what they're saying. Because we're going to see the goblins and the gnomes. These guys are after Azeroth. They're going to give us a map to an uncharted island where they think there's Azeroth. Off we'll go. There we can do our thing. I'm really hoping they're a lot of fun.
What are the rewards?
The main objective is to get Azeroth, right? So it's like an AP farm.
Okay.
All right, so the main thing is to gain Azeroth, but they have nodes of creatures, quest givers, powerful bosses. There's going to be loot and stuff. There's going to be all kinds of stuff there. The main thing is that the gnomes and goblins have found a source of Azeroth. Go and get it. And they have difficulty choices and all that kind of stuff. So it should be fun. I'm excited for it. I am. But that is pretty much all they told us about. There wasn't much else. We've got to see a dungeon, which I can't show you on stream, unfortunately. They got to show us a dungeon on, which didn't look very good. The Gundrak one was the one I watched through. The zones look cool. We got Drustvar. I can't remember the names of the new zones. They're all over the place. Drustvar. Zandalar is the new place. Zandalar. Drustvar. Where can we see? So we are getting 10 dungeons, I believe. 10 dungeons. Each faction has a separate level up. I love the pirate thing that they're bringing out.
Absolutely.
This was the new troll dungeon. This is Hakar, basically. Exactly the same mechanics as Hakar. You have to get corrupted blood. It tries to siphon the blood. If you've got corrupted blood, it hurts him instead. Yeah, it's been a long time since they've used the Hakar mechanics. Really glad to see that back. These are dungeons: Tol Dagar, Waycrest Manor, Shrine of the Storm, Siege of Borealis, Temple of Sarathralis, the Underrot, King's Rest, Kazan. Yeah. The pirate stuff looks fantastic. The pirate stuff does look good. These models particularly look ace, don't they? Don't they look cool? I would love to play as one of these guys.
That's what I was saying for like the human equivalent of these new sub races could be
Like
a
this
pirate themed human. Oh, dude, that's just a guy though, isn't it? That's just a re-rendered human, basically. Look at the. You can tell.
But I think he looks cool.
Does look cool. The armor set.
I think he looks very cool. I think he looks very, very cool. There's no doubt about it. I think he looks very, very cool. Where are the new zones? See, they didn't grab me. Like, besides the pirate thing, this is Freehold. Freehold grabbed me tight. I like this pirate town. I thought this was cool. I hope at some point we turn it to our side and we get to use it properly. There's a dungeon there and stuff like that.
If that was like the new city.
The new models look
like
good.
that.
You can see this in the Drustvar gameplay. They're very Witcher, but it's good. It's good.
Imagine if something like Freehold, as big as Dalaran, was our main city. How good would that be?
Well, it looks alright. That's good. Drustvar is cursed. Some cool storytelling, to be sure. But right now, nothing really grabbed me too hard. It's not pirate. It's not pirate. I want more stuff. But it looks good. Overall, Battle for Azeroth so far looks good. I want way more details. Way more details. They're doing a kind of Game of Thrones feel to it. You know what I mean? It's a very Game of Thrones feel. They're having, like, House Proudmoore.
Oh, okay.
2 more houses. I wonder if they'll go down that route. That's some of my speculation for it. Is will they go down that route with having the like the houses at war? I mean, later on in the expansion, like I say, if we go down the idea that they're going to destroy Azeroth, will the houses be at war internally? Will you have to side properly with one at some point or something like that?
Or if it's a rep grind.
Well, it could lead to civil war. That's what you could be looking at, is that at some point we go into civil war and the houses, even on each faction side, start warring with each other. That could be an interesting way to go with it, you know what I mean? Like, properly, segmented off, something like that. But they're always wary of doing that stuff because people get pissed if every convenience isn't accessible. I mean, we always go back to the Naxxramas plague incident and how angry people were, even for a few days, that the major cities weren't. Are they ballsy enough to say, let's put some inconvenience back into the game, even temporarily?
I hope so.
You know what reminds me of that? I'm not sure what MMO you played recently. You did a review on an MMO, and it segmented you geographically. To the point where it made it inconvenient to go too far away from your home city.
Oh, that was that building one, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a building one. But you actually were telling me, you actually feel like part of a community. Because it's an inconvenience to go away and come back, and it costs you money and stuff like that, it builds very naturally, because of how we are, it builds this community of we're the people from Drustvar, you know what I mean? And it's actually, we don't like the other people because they're someone else. I mean, that's all it takes as human beings, is I like us, despite having no relation to being us.
Albion Online.
Albion Online, yeah. And then I don't like you because you're over there. And for me, going to you is a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
And I don't like that. And you form these natural
communities.
You form these natural bonds. And also hatred, natural anger towards other people. As in a game, it's fine. That could be a lot of fun to play with if they wanted to do that. If they wanted to create these groups, these segmented off parts of the community. I'm not sure. I think a lot of people might hate that, but I think that'd be a really interesting thing to do. Especially, I mean, how could you do it? Could you just put a toll on crossing the zone? Or like, let's say you, what they could do. Imagine this: you're a miner, right? So, see if I can bring up a world map. Let's just say we get 3 zones each, right? So what if one of the 3 zones has most of the ore in it?
Do you know what I'd
by
like
a lot?
to see?
Let me finish
No,
this.
go on, sorry, mate. Go on.
So one of the zones has most of the ore in it, and you can't leave that zone without giving up half your ore. But one of the other zones has most of the herbs in it. You know, something like that.
Tax.
Yeah, kind of like that. That makes you angry with the other people.
Yeah,
Do you get what I'm saying?
be.
And there be the mining zone. And you're like, fuckers.
You know what I'd like to see with this whole world PvP thing?
That could be really fun.
Is bounties.
They said they might do it. We would be in bad shape if that happened, but I'm okay with it.
No, like
We would be in bad shape.
I mean, you've got to think of the mechanics that are involved. Like the person who's being hunted would have to be alerted. Now, if they just decide to log off, then maybe the person who's hunting them gets the reward because it's just a cheese way out. And if they log off, maybe they get some sort of debuff or something. I don't know. Maybe.
Well, as long it just needs to last for a while.
It needs.
Yeah, you'd have to have a week-long
implemented
bounty or something like that.
But I'd love that. I mean, if we're in the same server, Horde Alliance, and I got a bounty that says you've got to kill Preach, I've read this bounty. As soon as I click accept, you've got a bounty on your head.
Yep.
You get the alert that says a bounty has been placed on your head, and then I have to go. But I mean, NPC generated bounties, not like human created bounties.
Oh, I think the ones they talked about were human created.
Oh no, I don't like that.
I mean, that would be bad for me and you,
for
particularly.
any content creator.
That would be bad. For any content creator, that is a really bad idea. But at the same time, it would kind of be fun.
It would.
It would be kind of fun for the vast majority of the playbase. For selfish reasons,
For
it would suck.
bodyguards?
It would suck because we could
Fucking
never stream.
bodyguards for days though.
We could have bodyguards. We could do things like that. But it would, as a content creator and somebody who has their character on the stream in front of a lot of people regularly, that would be a really bad situation to be in. But I still think for the game, it could be relatively fun. And to put World PvP back in, I'd be interested to see that. I would be interested to see that. But I would be generally curious. What's up? I would be genuinely curious to see if they do try to create some form of infighting. And it could be good for the game. It's one of those things that sounds horrible, but it could be really good for the game. Is if negotiations, something like that, something that kind of makes you feel
more
like
in-depth economic.
You've got to find a way to make you belong to a certain faction. That's what you're looking for. It's like, how do we make people belong to a certain faction and want to be there, especially if you get to pick your side. If you get to pick your side and like, well, I'm going to side with House Proudmore, right? That's who I want to be with, and hopefully it could. Yeah, I think Civil War might be interesting for the game, and that then weakens both sides because you've got indoor infighting going on between the teams themselves, which then leads to just break out of all out war and confusion. I think that would be pretty cool. I think it would be pretty cool. Yeah, I just think community is a good thing. And you can make community happen. You can do that. As Andy proved in that game, it takes something as simple as dropping people together and making something inconvenient. That's all it takes to create a group of people, is give them a communal goal, or a communal hatred, or a communal inconvenience. Because it doesn't matter where you come from or where I come from in the world, religion, whatever. If we play a game and we both share the same inconvenience, we have some bond. We have something that we share, and that's all that it takes. So it could be very, very simple. It could be very, very simple. I mean, I'm just throwing out ideas, but I'd be interested to see where that goes. I think what's going to happen with Battle for Azeroth is we basically found out like the very, very bare bones, couple of features, looks good. I think we're going to get very, very specific blogs, kind of how they did leading up to Mr. Pandaria's. What Ghostcrawler did is he had these big dev blogs. Okay, now we're talking about the raid buff changes. We know we're getting the raid buffs back. That's cool. Mark of the Wild's back. Arcane Brilliance is back. Hopefully they'll go group-based at some point. I would like to see that. But I think we'll get these big posts explaining their thought process and changes. I think that's the way it's going to go. And hopefully we'll get the alpha soon. That would be really nice, Blizz. If we can get the alpha soon so we can get in there and test stuff, because we want to test more. That's what we're going to do. Yeah, maybe we are going to test it. Maybe we are going to test it. But that's kind of where we're at, I think. Agreed?
Agreed.
Anything else you want to bring up before we switch over? I've got to go and do something with Noble and Bay. Ooh, are you coming?
Nope.
You're not coming?
Nope.
Sad. Very sad. What's going to happen when they split up two sides of the world with Extar and Silver Moon City after the split? Well, they definitely seem to be trying to put the Alliance on one continent and the Horde on the other. That seems to be what they're trying to do, to create some geographical stuff, but I don't think it's enough yet. Any guess on release date yet? It feels a long way away.
This expansion,
yeah,
absolutely.
It feels a long way away. I don't think they want to give us a date because I think we're looking at a long way.
I want to see the cutscene that links this war into a direct forefront of everything. Because it's not just like we've got rid of the fucking Legion, back to the war. There has to be. I mean, I know it's probably going to start with something like what happened with Varian. That's going to be a major factor of it. But I want to see the tipping point that turns us straight back into war. You know.
I definitely think we're looking... I don't want to say a year, but I think we're looking a long time.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I think we're looking a long time. I think we're looking a very long time. If it's sooner, I'll be happier. But I think we are looking at a long time for this one. Everything seems to be very vague. They're not giving away any specifics. So we'll see. We'll see what's happening. So we'll be there. I think that's what's going on. But we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. All right, I'm off. What a great discussion. We did have no breaks today, so we could do that. So I'm off.
Solid, integral.
Well, I wanted to round it all up into one thing instead of making 20 different videos on different bits. I think this makes sense. And getting some group chat involved in that. So we're off to do that. Tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't had your fix just yet, we will be back with... I'm on the Final Boss show with Bay and with Mr. Noble. Spank that ass. Tomorrow evening, and right now we're going to do the behind the scenes, which Bay releases on his Patreon. So we're going to shoot the behind the scenes now. Transport competition will be when Antorus releases. That should be delicious. Other than that, we are back on Monday with World of Warcraft, and Tuesday it is L.A. Noire.
Oh shit! Nice.
Yeah, and for those of you who missed any of the other stuff, if you check this, actually, very cool. We're going to be using this going forward. Obviously, we don't get anything for YouTube anymore, pretty much. But one thing we are doing is, if you look here, we have this collections thing here. So anything that you've missed, I've been watching through, it's all here for you. Hey!
Full playthroughs and reviews as well.
Full playthroughs and the reviews of the games are all there. So there's much stuff there. There's much stuff for you there to be getting on with. It's also on GamerDads if you prefer YouTube. We've done it everywhere. We've done it all over the place. We've done it all over the place. So I will be back tomorrow. At what time tomorrow? Noble, do you know what time it is? I'm not sure, because he's fucking American. You know what I mean?
I think he's in chat.
Is he here? It's Bay. What time is it tomorrow? My time. I don't know. Is it this time tomorrow? It's usually about 9 o'clock, right?
Yeah.
Usually about 9 o'clock, something like that. Seal judge. Gonna start loading all the YouTube content. No, we'll be uploading. There's a few things gonna happen. I'll do a video. Andy's doing a lot of artwork and stuff. There'll be a few changes coming up, which most of you will be like, which most of you will be happy with, that are coming to YouTube. So we'll release it once we've finished it. That's the best way I can talk about it. But we'll let you know when we've finished with the changes. But we've started.
Delor said 9 PM your time.
9 PM my time. So it's 1 hour ago. 1 hour ago. 1 hour ago. 1 hour previous from this time right now. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for that classic nostalgia run. We will see you Monday. All right?
Deuces.
Where's the end thing? There we go.
Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up.